Well, they haven't been in the 8 all year. This is their chance tonight. They've been playing catch-up footy since round 1, the Kangaroos. They're 3-3 with a really good chance tonight to maybe get in front of the ledger. Can they do it? And what about this team? I mean, what a week again. I mean, how many times can you go back to the world? There's their captain courageous, Joe Watson. What can they bring to Etihad Stadium tonight? There is a rivalry here, a terrific rivalry. We know this. One of the most famous goals from one of the most famous players of all time, Wayne Carey. It was special, that's for sure. And then the Marshmallows, Kevin Sheedy. They know a little bit about rivalry, these two guys. We've got to go back a bit for that, but it feels like yesterday, and I'm with Sheeds and the Duck right now. That was something, hey? Did you really dislike one another, Kevin, you and the Duck?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Oh, look,
he's an opponent.
Well, when you basically live next to one another, and as I said in the article I wrote today, that you got suburbs. We ate at the same cafes. The players went to the same bars after a game, so we were very intertwined. So it was a fantastic rivalry. I mean, and so many close games.
Well, look, we. North got a couple of grand finals. We could only get to the Plume, so we couldn't get at them in a grand final. So that sort of had salted wounds, and then we got them in the greatest comeback ever, which would have annoyed a whole lot of them.
Well, this is one of the most, if not the most famous point of all time. So this is the 96 one, Sheeds, and then, of course, in 99. I mean, would have you beaten the Kangaroos in those years?
Oh, we would have had a good chance, yes. There's no doubt about that, because we would have covered Carey easily, and then the rest would have been history.
I think the 96 one, certainly, I think we might have had you covered. But 99 was one of those ones, I must admit, sitting there watching that preliminary final, when the Blues got you by a point, yep. I was a happy man.
I thought you might have been, but look, that's life, that's the way it goes. I mean, we wouldn't point out, we're nearly in 10 grand finals, Essendon, in 20 years, so, I mean, you've got to take... the Bomber fans will say, well, we've been up there. They've got to get back up there now, obviously, like the Kangaroos do. But, 3 preliminary finals, 7 grand finals. We lost 2 by points. So we're knocking on the door every second year for a grand final. So it's a pretty big effort.
So, Sheeds, North had bragging rights at that point, but the next year in 2000, I mean, you kicked the biggest score ever in a final, 198 points in a qualifying final, and then win the grand final by 10 goals.
Well, I think a lot of people forget that in 1999 we had no Hurd, no Lucas and no Jason Johnson. So when we got back those 3 champions, there weren't 8 best and fairest between them, we actually were going to have a pretty good side in 2000, and in the end we lost 1 game for the year.
There was a little bit about...
So you were lucky.
I remember Mick Martin might have grabbed hold of James Hurd and dragged him across the line. There was a bit of a line in the sand, wasn't there? I mean, you guys thought...
Well, we call it a body in the sand.
You guys thought that you had to get tougher against the Kangaroos.
That's fair enough.
And you
Why
did.
wouldn't you?
And you did.
Yeah, you put it... Look, if we had you on our side, we probably won the next 4 grand finals. So that's why it goes.
Well,
that's life. No, it's life. That's why it is.
Sheeds, you mentioned the comeback a moment ago. 69 points, round 16, 2001. What, 27 goals to 25? One of the most remarkable matches ever.
Well, I probably played in one in a grand final in 72 when there was about 50 goals scored, about 50 goals, 27, something like that. This was one of those big games where it was just ended up in a shootout, and it's amazing because there's just 2 clubs in the Northwest Passage of Melbourne that just wanted to keep having a crack at each other, and then we're at it again tonight.
Sheeds, we're going to go, as we go live, just go back a little bit to 98 and after round 14, and I'm not sure how good your memory is, but you'll have a look at something you said, which got things going a little bit.
I said?
You said. You
I
watched.
said a hell of a lot in my life.
I don't mind taking criticism from good, strong North Melbourne people like Aylett or Cheatley or ex-players, but to listen to Dawson to me, he'd be a pink marshmallow, Dawson, and Miller would be a white marshmallow. I mean.
Hey, don't you give me a pink one. How do you come up with that stuff? How did you come up with that stuff?
Well, because we could never get a great crowd.
Okay.
Yeah, look at the history of the crowds now. That crowd there in that match was about 72,000. It's one of the greatest crowds in North Melbourne's history because of them.
And, of course, what happens in the qualifying final the next time you play, Kevin? Of course, the Marshmallows come out.
Yeah, but that's the risk you take. Look, I'll get the crowd. I'm happy about filling the MCG and filling the stadium here.
One of the great promoters of our game, seriously.
I reckon Floyd Mayweather would have made 600 million if he knew Kevin.
Exactly right.
Never ran.
Well, you'd had a great rivalry, of course, with Hawthorn, and then you had this one with North Melbourne. Yeah. And as Wayne said, there are 2 teams that are intertwined. They're linked geographically.
We had one with Richmond and North Melbourne in the 70s, and that never wound away from, obviously, Ronnie Joseph, Aylett, You know, all the boys down there, Albert. So it always was North Melbourne with Richmond and Essendon.
How do Essendon respond tonight, Kevin? I mean, what's the big thing Hurdy's got to do tonight? The laser show, by the way, going. This stadium, sorry, Sheets, but as I look back, this stadium is completely in the black, and there are now some laser lights going everywhere. Kevin,
I like it because, I mean, I just got back from the Super Bowl in early, like 2015 this year, and the laser lights and the lighting was fantastic, and the entertainment there was sensational. I mean, this is all a preempt maybe if people start looking at a night grand final one day. I know it won't help a lot of people, won't help the Herald Sun and TV, but they'll get our game around the world at a better time slot, and I think that we should look at least one of them.
Well, this is entertainment, isn't it?
Yeah.
And, you know, the crowd do sit around for a long time before a game starts. I think it's fantastic. Obviously, we don't have reserve grade footy anymore, so I think this is great.
It'll only get better.
You know, love it. And it's a great stadium to do it with the roof over the top. What about the mindset tonight? I mean, what about James Hird's role here tonight in terms of what's happened this week for this team?
Well, I think a lot will come out of the player group because they're the ones that in that position as well. I think the comment made by before about Joe Watson in the chairman's dinner was very, very good. He's been a strong leader, led the club well and the team well as the captain of the club, which has been fantastic for the young man. And I think, I think Hird's been terrific too. I mean, look, let's face it, it's Essendon have control of this, right? Wada do. They've made their commitment to wanting to have another relook, and now Essendon have to face that challenge. So all you have to do really is keep your head down and focus and make sure you win games of footy. I spoke to Perth Glory just a few weeks ago, and they've been kicked out of the finals by being out of the salary cap, and they've been beaten zip 3. Now they got up and won the next two. It's about attitude. If you've got a great attitude in life and in sport, you've got a fair chance.
Sheets, we just saw some great vision, obviously, of the 90s and the early 2000s. Great scores, Essendon being attacking. Right now, they're playing the ugliest footy in the AFL, I think.
Yeah.
Do you? What do you think of how they're playing? And do you ever have a chat with James Hird at the moment about how they're going about their footy?
No, I haven't gone near the footy department since.
How do you think they're playing now?
Well, they can only play better, but they're 3-3, not playing well, so they've got a chance to improve, which is good.
The brand of footy, though?
Yeah, the brand of footy's, can get better, yeah. They're just...
Now, we love this, Sheets. Blokes like me that didn't play, this getting together before the match, just when they're about to come out. Hurdy does this a lot, doesn't he?
Well, he should. That's a part of it. That's the way he coaches. That's okay. It's just that he's got a guy there called Dustin Fletcher, 40 years of age, who's an unbelievable person.
It's an incredible story. Did you ever think you'd see something like this?
Oh, no, not at 400, no. You would be happy to have Dustin play 200 plus. So I think his performance has been magnificent right throughout for the whole club of his whole career.
It's interesting, actually, tonight, because he's actually going to probably have to play tall. We know that Carlisle's out, McKernan's come into this side, but Fletcher's going to have to play on one of those talls tonight, which he probably doesn't do a lot from week to week now, does he?
Well, it just depends. He takes anyone. Doesn't matter. I mean, he can play small. He can play on smalls.
Well, he's probably played more on smalls, I think, later in his career, but he's probably going to have to take one of those talls for the Kangaroos.
Well, I never wanted to put him on you.
Well, he did a few times.
Well, only a couple, but I mean, you had a long career. So, I didn't want to waste him and get slaughtered and chopped up by you. So just play him on and and then by doing that, he had a 150 game longer career than you, because he can save him and really look after a player and get a decent career. This is a magnificent career.
Sheets, we're going to go because James Hird's with Tim Watson in the darkness that Eddie had.
Well, Hurdy, it's a spectacular way to enter the arena, a bit different than the old Windy Hill days. Pretty similar to training on a Friday night at Windy Hill. The lights are going out, and obviously we didn't pay our electricity bills, but they're coming back on now. It's been a difficult week for the players emotionally. Are you confident you know where they're at right now?
Yeah, I think so. They warmed up really well. They trained really well Wednesday. They've dealt with it before, and, just hope they put up a good contest. I'm sure they will. They're a terrific group, very resilient, and we'll see a good performance from the boys tonight.
A late change too, Jake Carlisle out of the side and Sean McKernan into the side. Big challenge tonight, though, to control Todd Goldstein out there.
Yeah, it is, and it probably gives us more ruck power, really. Jake's more of a forward than a ruckman, whereas Sean's probably more ruckman forward. So, unfortunate for Jake hurting his neck, but great opportunity for Sean, who's worked very hard to get his opportunity coming from Adelaide, and we're very excited to have him in the team.
A lot of discussion about your side and their inability to attack. Are you confident you've been able to fix part of that this week?
Well, we hope so. I think our defence is holding up relatively well. We're winning more contested footy over the last 2 weeks. really now we have to make use of the ball better. It's not so much about our forward six. I just think around the ground we need to take the game on and move the ball forward rather than backwards and sideways like we have been.
And North are a difficult assignment, aren't they?
They are. Look, they're a very attacking team. I think the way they defend, they kicked 91 points from turnovers last week. They're in good form, and if you give them an inch, they'll score heavily against you. So, we've got a work cut out, but we're very confident we'll put up a good performance.
Good luck. Go and enjoy the rest of the light show.
Thanks, Tim. Speak to you soon.
So Watsons and Hurds and Neil Danaher will join Tim Watson at half-time. Kevin, people you've been all about. Just a word about North Melbourne, Sheeds, before we let you go.
I think they'll make the 8. I think they're a good experienced side right throughout. They don't have a lot of young kids there. Bombers have had to put 4 or 5 in to get it right and get the next sort of balance they can. But I'll judge North Melbourne when they get out there against the Giants, and we'll see how they go.
I thought you might mention those Giants.
That's Wayne's old area.
So, Sheeds, great to have you, mate. It really is.
Thanks a lot.
I love what you've done in the past and what you will do in the future. You're far from done yet in terms of AFL football. So North Melbourne are out. Andrew Swallow tonight. I mentioned Neil Danaher, by the way. That's a special at half-time. Really looking forward to Tim and Neil Danaher tonight. And Andrew Swallow mic'd up tonight, and here's a little snippet of what we might hear from the captain.
Good. Yeah, take it out again. Close, mate. Close. Same as last week, yeah. Go on. There's good pressure. Get up. Cutters. Tackle, chase. Plenty of voice. Out of boys when we come off. Up and about around the boys. Let's go, mate. Let's go.
Good form, and if you give them an inch, they'll score heavily against you. So, we've got a work cut out, but we're very confident we'll put up a good performance.
Good luck. Go and enjoy the rest of the...
Playing against the Bombers, it goes back many years ago, that rivalry. So every time we play them, it's a big build-up. So they'll be looking to do everything they can to beat us, that's for sure.
North Melbourne are through. The Bombers are out.
Obviously very disappointing, that loss in the elimination final last year. So we're going to have a lot of hunger and drive to stitch them up when we play them this time round.
Although probably would have watched that game a fair few times over pre-season and want to get one back at us, but we'll have to be up to the fight.
Bit of a chip on our shoulder after losing a game we should have won last year in the elimination final.
Every game, I suppose, against the Bombers is just that little bit extra to play them on Friday night. We'll be hoping to put on a good performance for our fans and just get the win.
They're pretty much our neighbours, North Melbourne and Moonee Ponds. They're right next to each other, so we've always had that rivalry.
There is something that still hurts a little bit inside after that final when you're up at half-time and give away that lead. So there is something, a little flame inside you that want to pay them back, I suppose.
So that great rivalry as we welcome Lingy and also Dennis to Friday night footy.
Bruce. Great to be here, Bruce. Looking forward to this one. Essendon, to be interesting to see how they respond to the week they've had. And the Kangas, well, can they take another potential top 8 scalp?
Veterans Night, I feel right at home, Bruce. All these old guys going around, it's a terrific feeling.
Can you be Fletcher? I could be Harvey.
Well, the size is right, too. Toss of the coin. Joe Watson and Andrew Swallow.
So Andrew, your call. Yep. Heads is the call. Heads it is. All right, lads, all the best.
First blood to North and Swallow. Let's go down to Tim Watson on the boundary. Tim?
Well, Dennis, remarkably tonight it'll be the 22nd time that Dustin Fletcher and Boomer Harvey have faced off in a game of AFL football. And I want to take you back to 1997 in a moment, as well as you can just see the Essendon players there huddling together. That was the first time that Boomer Harvey played in a game against Dustin Fletcher. That was his 12th game and Dustin Fletcher's 90th game. And there it is there at the MCG. North Melbourne would go on and win that game. Dustin Fletcher kicked a couple of goals. You see one coming up right here. He's 40 years of age, of course, as we know. Boomer Harvey, 37, still going strong too, playing a little bit more across half back than what he has in previous years, but he's still one of the main players for North Melbourne.
And I think the most remarkable thing is if you stood Boomer Harvey on Dustin Fletcher's shoulders, they'd still only come up to Aaron Sandler's belly button.
Very good. North's got a good record.
Man who does not speak the truth have trouble. So confused, you say, Timmy.
Kangaroos won 3 of the last 4 against the Bombers, including that last season's elimination final the guys were talking about his motivation earlier in that clip we saw. They trailed by 33 points early in the 3rd term, did North, and won by 12. So that was an outstanding performance after Essendon had won easily in round 1. And going back to round 1 last season, guys, North have undergone plenty of changes. Missing from that round 1 lineup against Essendon, Lee Adams, Aaron Black, Nick Del Santo, Nathan Grimer, Brad McKenzie, Scott McMahon, Aaron Mullett and Daniel Wells. That's 8 guys. That's a turnover. Away we go on Friday Night Football, like a roll call. Heppel to Watson, goes down towards half forward. Awkward bouncing footy, beat about 3 of them right. Now for Rito. Swallow under pressure, left half back, chips it up towards the wing. Hurley almost, Petrie took it off hands, Hansen. Now Swallow drives it down towards half forward, 3-on-2, favours North, but getting across and doing pretty well, sensing the danger. Dyson Heppel.
Thomas has been in good nick of late.
Yeah, good start by the Bombers out of the middle there. 2 key guys, Dyson Heppel, Jobe Watson getting their hands on it. We've spoken about Essendon's mental state so far tonight. If they can get a real good start from those centre line guys, it'll go a long way to helping the rest of the team get up for tonight.
I think both those players have got good records against the Kangas. Heppel had an incredible year last year, I think 37 and 34, and Watson has been averaging around 30 for about the last 10 times he's played against him. Hey, Tim, really quickly, just the laser show. I mean, you were down there. It looked spectacular. Did it go across well?
It was really spectacular. I'm not quite sure what to expect coming here tonight, but the fans seem to really love it.
Good stuff. So that was the setup tonight prior to the match. So Cunnington to half forward. Hooker went early. I know the Duck will be having a good look at Hooker and Hurley tonight. Swallow. And a boundary throw-in.
Off to a good start, Swallow also. He's had the 3 possessions. He's going head-to-head with the Essendon captain, Watson and Swallow. I love it when the 2 best players, the 2 captains of each club come together.
2 clearance machines, too.
Boundary throw in then. Goldstein. Higgins. Zeeble pulls it back across the face of goal. Brown. Forced to spoil, knocks it away from Fletcher, concedes it behind. Brown's been in pretty good form. Interesting young player.
He leads up well, doesn't he, Dennis? Just that hard lead, strong hands, and when he does get it inside 50, he doesn't miss too often, so he's important for them.
I reckon he's better than he looks, if that makes any sense at all. As Dennis said, he's going to be a fascinating watch. Bill Chambers coughed it up, Bastanak slipped out, Farito, Watson, McDonald on the wrong side for him. Heppel involved and takes a good mark. Zeeble worked underneath it by Goddard. So Heppel spreads it to Stanton, to Hibbert. Got a good leg. Ambrose. And the Bombers set up. Clever by Collier, but cut off. He was just trying to punch it forward, and then Goddard wide to Watson. Maybe outside the range, looks up, does he find the target? Play on McKernan. So first kick for him, not a good one. Swallow had a fumble. Good stuff there by Ambrose, actually holding it up, ball slipping out. Still not quite out, Ambrose in there. And a ball up, so Essendon inside the 50.
It's only early, but you get the feeling that the Bombers want to move the ball quickly. They want to get the ball inside 50 with a little bit of fluency, although making a couple of skill errors early.
Goldstein. Marginally. Cunnington, best and fairest last season over the footy. And that's not coming out. Goldstein throwing his weight around. Swallow the last man up. Goldstein, arguably the best ruckman in the competition. Although Heppel won that one, slaps it down towards the pocket, storming up Danaher. Standing in his road was Gibson. Burrowing in is Thompson. Rolls out to right under pressure. Goldstein stayed off the football. Cunnington did well. Got it to Gibson. Higgins over the top into the path of Swallow, bearing down his Heppel. Swallow gets boot to ball, and there he is.
That's it, Ben.
Crowd favourite tonight, Fletcher.
The 40-year-old to Hurley.
Play on. Thank you,
Gleeson. Now, this is an important kick. He's had a bit of time. He's going to go to the pocket. Oh, Danaher went very early.
Too early. North Melbourne, hands in the back.
Oh, very well played there by Scott Thompson. Is just a professional defender. Make sure he owns the space. Doesn't let Danaher have a free run at the ball. Just clever play. Danaher wanting to run and jump at it.
Play on.
Outbodied by Scotty Thompson.
Just waits the kick cleverly, actually. It was well done. And there you go.
There you go.
And the bloke that takes the mark.
Life mirrors art. Ball comes towards the wing, bounces across the boundary line in front of McDonald. We'll have a boundary throw in. The things you organise.
It's not easy, especially when it's dark just before the match.
It was eerie, wasn't it? Tossed in.
Loved it.
Goldstein pushed out of the way. Bill Chambers, Zach Merritt, Bastanak finds a way through. High ball. Hibbert should mark, or he calls Hooker in, then runs past. Well worked. Hibbert runs towards the outer side. Probing kick down towards half forward. Oh, wonderful carriage by Langford. Clipped on the way past by Tarrant. And the youngster slow to get up. Well, the coach will see that and love him for life.
Oh, and unfortunately for him too, Dan, it's been, the free kick was paid to Robbie Tarrant, so it's going the other way, and they've paid a 50 as well. So all that courage for Nort, it was certainly gutsy.
Sure was. Running back with the flight like that, you're not jumping, so there's no protection at all for you when you run through the footy like that.
Tarrant, what a beautiful kick. And Waite gets on the end of it about 35 metres out, 15 metres in from the boundary. And Langford, the worst for wear, did not take his eye off the footy.
Only his second game of footy. It's a good way to win the respect of your teammates pretty quickly. Kyle Langford doing things like that.
Coaches never forget that. Here's Waite. Kick is on the way, and it's a post. Just trying to come back.
He kicked it pretty well, didn't he? So Langford, the youngest player out there tonight. So the 50 metres for that. So Hibble.
Thank you, Brent.
A couple of teenagers out there tonight, including 18-year-old Langford. The other one is Zach Merritt. Danaher, all of 21, playing on. And then on the right leg, gee, that's a good kick on his wrong side. Watson did well there, worked. Hanson underneath and creates a chance to the speeds to Collier, who balances and kicks a goal. Well done, Watson. Well finished, Collier.
Well, this is what he's done well all year. He's exciting when he gets the footy, just so quick, and he's a beautiful finisher. But that all started from Danaher off half-back. He played on when he took the mark, got it in there quickly.
It's definitely the message, isn't it? Yep. Any chance you get, just wheel and go. Yes. Make decisions on the run. They're certainly wanting to move that ball quicker.
Bombers lead it by 4 then. Bill Chambers, Goddard, ricochets off his body. Big scramble. Zach Merritt, Dempsey, out wide. Ambrose. It's a nice bounce. Gleeson under pressure. Ambrose with some time. Drives it down towards half forward. All North Melbourne. Back goes Hanson. Takes the mark. And just moments ago, interesting, Joe Watson urging number 32 on, talking him to kick that goal. Number 32.
It's a lovely segue, is it, with his father sitting down there, watching it all. Well, the 32's going pretty well at the moment, is he, in Collier?
Thank you, Michael.
Here's Waite. Hit the post earlier. It's a pretty good shot from the pocket. He is enigmatic. He's always been that way. Bagley just tripped at the wrong time. Ball not quite out. Good stuff, Dempsey. Goddard, that was brilliant. Ambrose up and about. Running hard to half forward. Danaher caught in the wrong position. Hanson couldn't quite take it. Watson playing forward 50 a bit. Tarrant wide. So Waite in the back half here. Has some time, wants to deliver, and finds Cunnington between half-back and centre wing.
Really working up the ground, Waite. He wants to get Hurley out from, I guess, that half-back position where he feels comfortable and blocks holes.
With North Melbourne's struggling a little bit to move the ball, maybe he's getting too far up the ground, though. They might be out now.
Well, right onto the loose ball, and party kick from Hanson coming out. Swallow, though, released into space. Worked out OK. Petrie on the lead, reaching over the top. Hooker, trumped by Bagley, taken by Stanton. Hibbert, back to Bagley. At half-back, prods a kick high. McKernan, too worried about Tarrant. Spoil was okay, though. McDonald missed the target. Wright goes back. Under pressure on the wing. Gleeson peels off Red at best and slides in like a base runner. Going to second and takes the mark.
Harvey quiet so far. When he had to mention his name, Gleeson. Goes to the one-on-one. Well done, McKernan. Ex-Crow. That's a decent kick. And Watson takes the mark. Actually, McKernan's going to be happy with that bit. Came in for Carlisle tonight.
That's you, Joe.
Well, it was, Bruce, as you said. Good, strong mark. Just used the body, read the ball well, played on straight away. Again, that intent to move the ball quick. Beautiful pass to Jobe, and almost got there a little bit quick for him. He didn't really expect it. That's why Jobe Watson's so dangerous. So good in the midfield, but can go forward, take a mark on the lead, and more often than not, bangs him through the middle.
Tough kick. Good kick. Really good kick. Terrific start by the Bombers.
Well, you have a look at Jobe's routine here. He's got a little bit of a skip up, so it's not the normal run in, but it works for him. I mean,
very
that was a
relaxed
beautiful
routine.
kick. Very relaxed routine.
Margin 10 points then. McKernan on the way down. Watson again. This time out of the middle. Kicks inside the forward 50. Charging up was Danaher. Thompson. Back to McDonald. Drives it up towards the wing. Heppel returned 23 yesterday. Takes the mark. Switches it back to the middle. McKernan in new colours. Runs to the wing and finds Ashby. Ashby a promising time. Kicks inside the forward 50. Danaher flies from behind. Spoils in the end. Came back to him. Well worked. Now a chance for Collier. He got it from Ambrose. The hook down towards full forward from Heppel. Bounces and goes through for a goal. Beat 3 players.
Let's get ready to go.
Well, Heppel and Watson up and about, and so are the Bombers. But this is the moment we talk about North Melbourne so often. Right here and now, I mean, how do they respond?
Well, they have to respond, Bruce, because they have not started well at all. Whatever happened tonight, they couldn't let Essendon get up and about and believe, given the week that they have. But Essendon started brilliantly on the back of those 2 players you mentioned. Dyson Heppel and Jobe Watson been brilliant in the middle, and both of them have hit the scoreboard.
Danaher's only had the 2 possessions, Lingy, but he hasn't been outmarked. Competing really well. He's made sure the ball has come to ground on every occasion when it's gone inside forward 50.
So are there alarm bells in the box now for the Kangaroos, or is it too early?
Well, probably a little bit too early for alarm bells, but they certainly want to go back and kick a settler right now.
That mark's going to help, Bruce, but they've been starting to get a little bit nervous about the start, just because they've allowed Essendon the belief. That's a strong grab by one of the leaders at North Melbourne, Drew Petrie. Great way to respond if you can go back and slot this one.
So you can put the snooze button on the alarm if this goes through, eh? So he was good last week, wasn't he, Petrie?
Yeah, his best game for the year.
He struck it well. Is it going to get home? It does, so North get that one back.
Well, Duck, we had a look at Jobe Watson's kicking action. Drew Petrie's, that one looks pretty simple and pretty nice as well.
Well, it is pretty simple, Lingy. You got a routine, you go back, kick through the footy.
Back to 10 points now. Goldstein, 1-2 with Swallow. Fell over in the act of kicking the big fella, though. Goes after it again. Bastanak couldn't find a way through. Zeeble hurriedly floats it down towards half forward. Fletcher got a mid on it. And he gets his share of high tackles. Lindsay Thomas, but that was definitely there. And Petrie could be the target. You can see him deep working now towards the square. Number 20. He's back to us momentarily, and again getting right back. Thomas to space. Not sure about that. White. Well, it worked out okay. There was plenty of space out to Thomas's right, and the left footer disguised it pretty well.
Well, Dan, that was an outstanding kick, as you called, because he just kicked it to the space. He forced Jared Wade at the bottom of your screen to lead onto it. Jared Wade's only just started moving, put it that far out in front that Wade had to get onto it, and gave Michael Hurley absolutely no chance. Beautiful kick by Lindsay Thomas.
And all the Kangaroo forwards are on the move. Very hard to stop. They're all moving around, creating confusion.
Now this would be handy. Back-to-back goals in the space of a minute. Whoa. Wow. That's their second poster. doing it by degrees. 18 plays 9.
So he's hit that same bit of woodwork twice, Wade. He's kicked it okay, but gone straight. But a chance missed. Bagley become such a reliable player in the last couple of seasons. McKernan and Brown. Ferrito sweeping it to Zeeble, to Jacobs, to Wright. North getting going here. Gibson off a step to fall forward. Wait front spot. Thomas at the back. Bagley getting back. Thomas half a chance. He'll look for that free. He won't get it. Now he's in trouble. No, ball up.
Did not dive on it.
I like what North Melbourne have done in their forward line. They've left Waite and also Petrie up there. Brown up on the ball. It's forced Dustin Fletcher to play on Lindsay Thomas as a small.
So when Waite scores, North win, and it's a behind. So that was interesting. Every time Waite hasn't scored this year, they've done no good. But when he hits any sort of a scoreboard, it's a good sign for the Kangaroos.
Fletcher. What about a torpedo for all time's sake? Apparently not. Goes to the back pocket, taken by Bagley. Bagley. They've been up and about the Bombers so far. Jackson Merritt on the other side. Watson gets to the footy. And Watson looking back towards the middle, but I think we'll go down the line here. Very close to the line. Oh, that was precision. Plus, Collier took the mark one step in and then immediately crossed the line. Wonderful kick by Watson. Collier goes for distance. High one, it's been touched on the mark. Hansen missed it. Punched away by Petrie. Jackson Merritt floats it towards half forward. Now a chance. Bastanak was involved. He dropped the mark. Petrie, though, assisting there with Harvey. Harvey goes back to Thompson. And now it's with Hansen. So a lot of blue and white jumpers in defence. Here's Jacobs, who really has made a spot for himself in defence. Just chips it back to the run coming from Hansen.
They look better with Hansen in the team, don't they, North? Second match back this year.
Yep.
Had the big injury late last year, didn't he?
Smart player, just comes off and helps out.
Gee, that's a good mark by Zeeble. He used Goddard and was able to stretch over the top. Patient game by North. Nahas on the rookie list. He's done a good job, Nahas. He's up and about. Harvey and Nahas together. Nothing straightforward with those two guys. Kicks to full forward and getting back Ashby. Second game this year. Promising time. Hibbert, McKernan in front of Brown.
He's been lively, McKernan. Goes down the line. Melksham this time. Hard against the boundary. Little chip towards half forward. Ambrose. Good defending there by Hansen. Coming with the flight of the ball. Didn't touch the player. Knocked it down. Zeeble to Brown. Has this ability to mark the ball at its highest point. He backs up that hairstyle. There's Jacobs across the ground. Right. Takes off. He's on the wing. Higgins is coming up. Will it carry? Yes, it will. What a wonderful kick. Just getting it over the trip. That was his intention. The movement came from Higgins.
Great spoil from Hansen, running back with a flight. Takes a little bit of timing to be able to do that.
That's 15 gone.
Shaun Higgins has been good. He's been a good pickup, averaging nearly 2 goals a game so far. Just keeps bobbing up on the scoreboard. Bit of experience out there. Again, another important kick.
Doesn't mind kicking a goal. It's in his DNA. Important kick, this one, too. If he gets it, the margin will be 2 points. It's coming back. Oh, gee. Did its best work over the line. Minor score. So 1-5 now, North, including 2 posters to 3 straight.
And they're dominating disposals. It's 3-1 since the Heppel goal, and they haven't been inside 50 in that time. The Bombers are about to do it, I think. That Brown did so well on Collier there, and then delivers to Higgins. This is a good chance here now. They may catch Essendon out. Kick wide, though. The Bombers get some numbers back. Goddard did a good job on Swallow. Hooker was able to sweep. Bagley concedes back to Goddard. Goddard with that good leg of his to Dempsey to Stanton. So good stuff from end to end. Stanton to half forward. And Hansen has been terrific. He's been a real rock back there. to McMillan.
There's two very distinct styles going on here at the moment. Essendon are just playing on at all costs. North Melbourne happy to be pretty patient until they get someone out, then they'll move it quick, but they'll kick mark if they have to.
Jacobs in 3 minds there, I think.
Well, the interchange confused him. And how about that by Higgins? It's Peter Mark coming over the top. Just rolling across the pack, or is it Peter Mark? I think it is. Clean as you like.
Please.
So another chance for Higgins.
Sean, 15 gone.
Man on the mark is about 40 metres from goal. So close last time. This a much easier shot. Goal here. It's back to a point. Interesting affair. Both sides have had their moments. And this is not as good as his previous effort. He's pulled it. And through it goes for a minor.
So Waite and Higgins are 2 guys that they've brought into the team. 4 behinds between them tonight. They've had good starts to their North Melbourne careers, haven't they?
They have. They've kicked goals, but not tonight. And again, touched off the boot, but Essendon again down the middle of the ground. They want to move it quick. They want to give themselves opportunities up forward. North Melbourne defending them better than they did in that first 5 minutes. They let Essendon play a little bit too much in that first 5.
Can't get it past Hanson at the moment, can they? So North pressing hard here. Goddard's quick kick out. Courage again by both players. It was Jacobs. I think it was Lonergan again. And now Collier with this pace to try and split it. Watson took the tackle. Merritt. Now Stanton needs the bounce, and that was clever. Got it on in a hurry. Gets it to Melcham. Melcham, beautifully looking kick, and Collier, wonderful skill and guts as well. He knew they were coming.
That's us. Time back on.
Well, you've said how good he's been all year, Bruce.
Robbie,
again, that took skill, but that took a lot of guts too. He didn't know what was coming then. Finish off his work again.
Thank you.
And he does the number 32 proud, eh? Bangs through his second.
It was a very clever mark, wasn't it? Because the ball was actually swinging away from him, so he put the hand there and it stuck. I mean, that does take a lot of skill.
Duck, you said about the Essendon intent to play on. They're going at 50% from mark play-ons. North Melbourne only 12%, so very different game styles happening here.
Zeeble out of the centre. Brown. Higgins has been lively. Cunnington, sweeping hand pass. Good communication out there. Thomas, though, makes a meal of it. Centering kick eventually. Gibson stands his ground and juggles the mark. They were bearing down. Did somebody touch it in the interim?
Into take the mark as well. Push out. Robbie, just watch the side here.
Hooker thinks somebody touched it. Not sure he thinks it was him.
I love that, Ben, from Drew Petrie. Just protecting his teammate. Look at that on Cale Hooker.
That's
great.
Push out. Brendan, push
Great play, Drew.
So Gibson. Can he break the sequence of behinds? Yes, he can. They needed that.
So a goal that Tim Lonergan looks a little the worse for wear, doesn't he? Langford, I should say, a little the worse for wear.
Yeah, he went back out there, but he's come back to the bench now, and Doc Reed's just been taking a look at him. He's still bothered by that knock that he received early in that quarter.
So just 6 points in it. A lot more shots for the Kangas. Goldstein doing the rucking and the roving to fall forward. Petrie's been such a presence up there. Fletcher gets it from Hurley and then runs hard. Kicks to centre wing, got a good bounce, Stanton, and took them on, bent the back. Now, what's he got in the leg? It's a good-looking kick. Does he get it far enough? Well played, Danaher. He had to get the distance, Stanton, didn't he? And he did. And Danaher, who Duck's talked about, hasn't had a lot of the ball, but he's had a presence.
Oh, that's what he's done. I mean, he was out of position there. It wasn't a great kick. It was a little bit flat, but at least he brought the ball to ground, got it out of bounds. They can start again.
Behind the pack, a chance here for Zach Merritt. Hurriedly onto the boot. Watson plays in front to good effect.
And that's what it leads to, Duck. Exactly what you're talking about. A simple thing, tiny little thing from Joe Danaher. Instead of being outmarked there, gets it out of bounds, get a stoppage, and a kick in. Essendon now have a shot at goal from something that happened perhaps 30 seconds earlier. Just those little 1%ers that we talk about all the time often lead to a goal. And Joe Watson, the way he kicked his goal before, put him happily put your money on this one.
Much appreciated.
Going at his second. Moments ago, North had a chance to get within 1 point.
Mark, you having a shot on goal?
And this kick is good. So Watson's got 2, and suddenly the margin back out to 12.
So one captain gets his second. Let's hear from the other captain. We've mic'd him up, Andrew Swallow.
Corner!
He come out real hard. That was perfect. Was that in the goal square? Coming out. Yeah, real good. Giving himself every chance. Just got to finish now, that's all. Getting to the marks. That's perfect. That's all you need.
Good stuff there as Hurdy comes down. So 5 goals for the Bombers in the first quarter. That's the first time in 17 rounds since they've done that. So they've had trouble scoring. We've talked about ugly footy, Duck, haven't we? Well, nothing ugly so far tonight. And Goddard out of the centre. Hanson came rushing in. McKernan's been good. Stanton busy. Kicks to full forward. North should take it, and they do for Rito.
That's it, Joe.
Went past Craig Scholl recently in terms of games played for Rito. Been a stalwart. Jacobs, Hanson, Bastanak. That's a sweeping handball and a good one to Gibson. That's a good kick to Brown. So Brown at centre wing. Wait the target. We heard Andrew Swallow a moment ago. So Tim Watson will talk to Brad Scott after the quarter-time huddle. So terrific opening term. A lot talked about the oldies tonight. And there's a youngie who did a real act of courage, didn't he? The 18-year-old young Langford. Hurdy's happy. He hasn't forgotten. It's been a terrific opening term. Big build-up. And at quarter-time, perfectly poised. The slight underdog leads by a couple. Watson and Collier hitting the scoreboard hard in the first quarter here on a Friday night at Etihad. If you didn't catch tonight's Telstra Friday Night Countdown, here's what you missed.
Did you ever play State of Roger?
I never played. I had the chance 2008. I'm still filthy at Bomber Thompson.
Should it be back?
He was coaching for Victoria, didn't give me a game that year.
Should it be
he played
back?
about 15 of my team.
Should we bring it back?
Yes, bring it back.
When can you play
I have no idea.
Live at 7 o'clock Eastern on 7 Mate. Quarter time here. Look at Watson, 8 and 2 goals. Career high 3, by the way. He's done that on 5 occasions, so he might be on for something here. So terrific opening term. It's Essendon 30 and North Melbourne 18.
Attention please. Watch movie after movie, episode after episode of the world's most popular shows. Get more choice. Go to presto.com.au for a free 30-day trial.
Yeah, try it free for 30 days. Visit www.presto.com.au for those selection of TV and movies. Down to you, Tim. You're in good company. Brad Scott.
Well, Brad, I saw you go to the defenders there at quarter time. What were you unhappy about?
Just a couple of really disappointing stoppage setups that, we pride ourselves on, and we weren't organised, and it cost us 2 goals.
Apart from the scoring and in the accuracy in your forward line, really it's a very even game so far, though.
Yeah, it is. I mean, the accuracy is one thing, but, we've just got to adjust a couple of things in this second quarter and look to use our forwards a bit more. We think we can get back on top.
Thanks for your time.
Thanks, Tim.
Well, his son Job's got 2. That's Tim. Travis Collier's bit of 2 as well. And a lot of misses as far as North were concerned, particularly in the middle part of that term there, Cam.
I was just thinking, Dan, there's been a bit of history there over the years too, between the Essendon chairman and the CEO now of the AFL.
I think they're on the same side for the first time, though, aren't they?
Yes.
12 points the margin. Start of the second term, Friday night football. McKernan up high. Goldstein, though, tapped it down. Cunnington surrounded. 3 tackle him down. Zeeble. Hurried kick towards half forward. Thomas got it best off the boot. Inside the centre square to space. Drifting back, though. Melcham takes the mark. The kick intended for Petrie. Here's Hibbert. Across the ground. Fletcher on the stretch. Hurley offers short. Fletcher goes longer. Dempsey, haven't called his name too often. Heard the umpire. The umpires tonight, incidentally, Chamberlain, Finlay and Harris. Dempsey goes back, Hurley.
And the trend continues from the first quarter for Essendon, just looking to move the ball as quick as they can, playing on every chance. 50% mark play-ons in the first quarter to North Melbourne's 18%.
So Hurley banging to centre-half forward. Gee, Hanson's been good. We talked a lot about him.
He reads it so well, doesn't he?
Yep.
Fly to the ball.
So Tarrant got it from Jacobs. That's a poor kick. Heppel, so productive, so courageous. Ball not out, gets a free kick in the back.
Essendon. High contact. Hold.
So Heppel off that step. Goddard. Such a long kick, Goddard. And kicks to centre-half forward. Hanson again, front spot. Danaher took him out. Swallow getting back. Good tackle. Ambrose takes him down. Ball up.
Great tackle, that, Bruce. Just did not let him go. Andrew Swallow's a tough man to tackle down, and look at that.
One of those ones where the arms were trapped too, and his head hit the ground fairly hard there.
Ball tossed up, close to goal. Ferrito defending. Sends it out towards the boundary. Pitches just inside. Harvey, elusive across half-back, holding the footy, though. Their tackling has been a feature. And just going back to Ambrose, he's right up there in the tackles. Only Ben Hallett has made more this season, and Hallett tonight has started as the sub. So I would imagine that maybe Ambrose very close to team leader in that category.
Hey, Duck, is there a duty of care here at all, do you think, from Ambrose's point of view?
Probably not. I mean, he's got his hands on the footy. It's a hard one to know whether he's got both hands trapped, but that's the one that the AFL want to look at, because the arms are trapped and the head into the ground.
I think while the footy's still there and still in that contest, then you tackle them as hard as you possibly can. Different story. If the ball's gone, you shouldn't then sling them once the ball's left the player that you're tackling.
Well, he had an arm free, didn't he? But he was holding the footy.
Daniel Wells, I'd like him back, along with Nick D'Alsanto, but the Bombers have also got a bit of a long list, and Dennis talked about the changes from North's point of view earlier. Zeeble kicking the ball forward, Waite and Fletcher. Fletcher and Waite just went to ground. Fletcher, Bagley. Put Dempsey under the pump, but he's got a lot of pace. Waite did so well, he cut it off, and now works his way through. Sets Brown a task. The handball might have been better there. Hooker gets back. He had Hurley to support. He misses the target, though. The turnover again. Zeeble quickly on. This will work. This is a good kick. Bang, and Drew gets a second. And North closed the gap.
Well, we know how important a skill kicking is. So important coming out of defence. Cale Hooker there just giving the footy straight back to North Melbourne. Jack Zeeble read it well, played on straight away. Easy goal for Drew Petrie. Just highlights again how important elite kicking is to AFL footy.
Bill Chambers. Cunnington, though, sharking it. Taken down. Jacobs missed it. Collier, the hurried kick down towards half forward. Brilliant gather by Danaher across the body. Too far. Margin 8 points. Ferrito goes back to bring it in.
He's shown every sign, though, tonight, hasn't he, Doug?
His attack on the footy's been fantastic.
Ferrito goes short. Made his debut against the Bombers, round 12, 2003. His first opponent, Dean Rioli.
Gee, that's bringing back a memory of two. So Bastanak, Gibson, and he's kicked it out on the fall.
Chambers. Mark's it. Tommy, your kick, bud. Tom, play on.
So Ray Chamberlain there, that was Bud, Bill Chambers. Melsham, good mark.
Mark.
Did well.
Hold, hold.
Off a step. Danaher the target. Petrie getting in the back half. Tarrant. Jacobs has to wait. Petrie getting back, doing well. Ferrito, slight fumble. And then has to play the percentages. So he buys some time with a high kick. Does it stay in? No, it doesn't. So the Bombers now to bang it back in, and it's in good hands, I reckon.
Yeah, they're being tested, though, at the moment. Centering kick. Merritt missed it. Petrie working back in defence. Nahas, right. Loops it over the top. Jacobs, Nahas. Giving some instructions, too, then run down. Forgot about the job at hand. Bastanak over the top. Higgins. Heppel one side, Gleeson the other. Both have an arm. Make a wish.
The Bombers might have a bit of a problem down here too. Courtney Dempsey's just having his hamstring tested.
Heppel leads in the race just outside the 50, under pressure at the feet of Merritt. That's Jackson. That was a throw. Jacobs got it across to Gibson. Higgins, McMillan fires one out to Bastanak. Bastanak along the line and full-chested. It's Nahas.
Good kick.
Well, that could hurt him there, what Tim just said about Courtney Dempsey. He looks okay striding there. He's had the job on Sean Higgins. Important role, but he also gives him so much drive off half-back.
Howlett's the sub tonight. So Fletcher to Goddard to Melsham. How quickly can he move it here? Looks a good kicker, I reckon. Gives Danaher a chance. Terrific stuff from Tarrant coming from the back. Danaher held on to. Thompson did well. Cunnington off the step, bangs the ball back. Big play. Hurley attacked it hard. Wanted it probably more than anyone else in that situation. To Watson, to Stanton. Looks up, decides to go to the pocket. Good looking kick. Langford nearly. Collier just wanted someone to be running forward. Cunnington, they got some numbers. Gibson, Bastanak, Jacobs a left footer, so this could be awkward. No, he was able to get it off. And Hanson in the back half finds Harvey.
Harvey's at right half back, wants to go immediately. Higgins carries the ball down towards the wing. His kick out in front and the lead coming across on the angle. McMillan takes the mark. 80 metres from goal, just cruising past, looking for space. Swallow, nothing there. Short one towards half forward with courage. Gleeson went back. Well played by Swallow coming through, stifled the hook, a hand pass. Now a chance for Stanton, stood up in the tackle. Stripped by Nahas, taken high, Nahas. And he'll get the free kick. That was aggressive football from the Kangaroos inside their forward 50.
Both clubs applying a lot of pressure as we have a look at that one that the played on point. But both clubs applying really good pressure to one another, aren't they? The tackles constantly, one after the other. Dyson Heppel has just been unbelievable, hasn't he?
Yep.
Gee, Hurley's kick again. Well, they may be all right here now. Melsham can't give it off. There's no one up forward. That's holding the footy. That's a terrific tackle by McDonald. Slow by Ambrose, wasn't it? Now Jacobs, and then Jacobs with a poor kick. The direction, okay, but he just didn't strike it. Petrie had Thomas, still Petrie. He's got a long leg, Petrie. Fletcher. And now they can, well, Brown picks himself up now. They might rebound through Hibbert.
Hibbert inside the centre square. Well, McKernan dropped the mark. Time to recover. Terrible hand pass, though. Gibson thumps it inside the forward 50 for North. Bell Chambers got the kick away. Wasn't taken high. McMillan with Collier scuttling on through the interchange. Ball comes back to right alongside the centre circles. North go forward again. Punishing kick. From behind Goldstein, hands to it, couldn't hang on. Hibbert a half chance, over the football Fletcher. Bagley gave it to Hurley. Now Zach Merritt wants his left side, ran himself into trouble. Hurley tries to assist, barges his way through, throws it on the boot, goes out of bounds. And the umpire says throw it in, and that's a pretty good call because I think there was a human out of control.
That's strong in the contest. See you later, Jared White. He's been good tonight, Hurley, standing up. But you just think the weight of numbers down that North Melbourne end's going to tell eventually.
I think Essendon might be about to substitute Ben Howard into the game here. It looks like it may be Courtney Dempsey. Mentioned here before with his hamstring. They're still talking to him, and Howard has just been doing some warm-up, so don't be surprised if that change is made in the next couple of minutes.
And Tim, what sort of a blow is that if Dempsey's off?
Well, they're going to lose some pace generally with him out of the game, but Howard, as we know, is a very smart, strong, in and around the contest type player. You just wouldn't want to be activating your sub at this early stage of the game, that's all.
No. Collier's long ball, good stretch, Ambrose.
Jack right there!
North just hasn't been able to get the advantage for their seemingly dominant free kick against Denver. He's such a pesty, feisty competitor, isn't he? He would drive you mad, Duncanville, in the opposition, wouldn't he?
He uses his body so well, doesn't he? Gets himself to the drop of the ball, so you almost have to move him out of the road, but you're right. It'd be very annoying.
Gibson got it from Petrie, drives it up towards the wing. Swallow from behind, quality here. Heppel dragged down by Swallow. Nahas came quickly. Swallows got some help. Goes to Zeeble. Zeeble with the outside of the boot. Fletcher concedes front spot. White was up, couldn't hang on. Hooker run down by Thomas. Spills to Hurley. Again jams it on the boot. Hot ball. Zeeble didn't have the footy.
You got him high. Hey? You got him high. Over over the ball. You got him over his neck.
Nice little discussion between Jason Ashby and the umpire there. Oh, perhaps over the shoulder for a fraction of a second, but a little bit unlucky. Two players going hard at the footy. Genuine contest, but Zeeble ends up with the free kick. He's a good kick of the footy.
So Jack goes back. Second shot on goal. And does it again. Somewhere in there we're paraphrasing Steely Dan, I think, but it's a lot of Jacks in this competition.
2-5 from set shots in as the Kangas. Fletcher. Hanson terrific. Danaher hard, but a free kick.
Well, once again, just getting in the right spot, Hanson. He's come straight back into the side and straight back into his normal role. He gets so much of the footy and takes so many intercept marks.
Now Brown the target. Hurley had to really launch and did well. Wade in the pocket. Gets a good kick in. Pete. Oh! Well, that would have been interesting. Petrie trying obviously to mark. Just the way Wade kicked it, you felt like the bounce was going to be the right off break to go through.
Hey, Bruce, and Courtney Dempsey's about to make a liar of me too, because he's just re-entered the arena. So I think they might be having one last look at him.
Thanks, Tim.
Audio, when you're ready.
And I think Drew could believe his luck. He was going to get an uncontested mark in the goal square twice in this quarter.
Not to be.
Been lively, though, Petrie. Grew up barracking for the Bombers. Footy hero Paul Salmon. Bit similar. Bill Chambers did well. Part of the fitness test. Got it down to Courtney Dempsey. Ambrose on the burst. Heppel, in characteristic fashion, hits the ball sweetly. He's a left-footed confection. Gets it down towards Jackson Merritt. Centering ball. Launching down there. McKernan paid the mark. No play on. McDonald picks it up. Oh, gee. Contentious. Goldstein to the outer side wing. The big guys combine. Petrie. Zeeble is running hard.
He's had a big quarter, Zeeble. Missed a couple of shots, but he's really building. And a goal assist. That one slow to get there, but Cunnington quickly on. Harvey, birthday during the week. Goal tonight, eh? Bombers hate it. So is it a mark or not?
Sean McKernan gets a good piece of it early. Oh, brings it down enough for me.
Oh, and the arm is being held anyway.
Maybe it looks as though he had it for longer in slow-mo, but that looked a lot like a mark.
Very unlucky.
The bit that hurts is a goal down the other end.
It probably did, Liggin. There goes the kick by Goddard inside the forward 50, charging up Thompson. Double fister taken by Bastanak. Cunnington, right on the overlap, drives it towards the outer side wing. Hibberd works in front, slaps it down. Knew where the help was. Brilliantly by Heppel to Stanton. Goddard releases Hibberd. Hibberd kicks inside the forward 50. In front, Watson. No free kick there either. And this place is simmering.
Things tend to look like they take a bit longer in slow-mo, don't they, Dan? It's amazing.
They do.
Gee, that should have been too high. Decent contest, but
built a higher fence.
Great one-on-one, terrific contest, full stop here. Heppel, wonderful again.
Hold, Jared. Hold.
And full credit to McDonald a moment ago, because Watson's as strong as a ball, isn't he? And McDonald held his ground in his second season. And Joe, with all the power in the world, at the height of his powers. Another great kick. McKernan did well that time as the defender.
4 pins. Thank you very much.
So Ashby picks himself up. Goldstein lays it down. Cunnington was the target. It's a bit of a battering ram, Zeeble, isn't he?
Good footballer.
North by a point then. Ambrose. Bastanak. In trouble, Bastanak. Shakes free. Clever hand pass. McDonald. Cunnington. Left-sided, Swallow in trouble. Too hot for McDonald. Zeeble enters the fray. McDonald still going. Watson charges in. In the opposite direction was Ashby. And we've got a ball up. Umpire Finley wants it quickly. But they're slow to pick themselves up. And fair enough, that was pretty hot. Goldstein just clears a path. Swallow onto the loose ball. Cunnington cast in the role of a ruckman to set this up. Nahas, couple of bounces, scuttles down towards right half forward. Centering ball coming from behind was Bagley. It'll be a free kick to North Melbourne. It'll go to White. Against Bagley. Crashed into his back unfairly, says the umpire.
Well, North Melbourne worked this beautifully from the other end of the ground. Great third man up from Ben Cunnington, set up this play. Have another look. Bagley free kick. Oh, is that not a fair contest, Duck?
I think you're entitled to go for the footy, and if there's contact, there's contact. I mean, probably a little bit lucky there. Wade, very courageous, by the way, by Wade going back for it, but I'm not sure it was a free kick. You're entitled to go for the footy, aren't you?
Yep. So Jared Wade has missed a couple of times so far tonight. Not by much, at the post once. And this kick is online, so North Melbourne now flexing their muscle.
So North 5 of the last 7, and Bombers led by 16 points at one stage. So North now with the ascendancy.
Well, they've had most of the play this quarter, but weren't getting the reward for it. That reward started coming in the last 5 minutes.
Brown and Bell Chambers. Cunnington did really well to Gibson. Had a bit more time, Gibson. Flashed it away. Waite's been very lively. Thomas rode it well. Heppel and Hibbert and Goddard, who takes off and then goes with a long ball to half forward. This is where they've been struggling a bit. Oh. And this guy's playing some sort of a game, isn't he?
And this is becoming an issue, Lockie Hansen now. Jake Melksham on him here. He's just got to make him accountable. That is a really good mark of the footy, but Hansen's having too big an influence on this game.
7 marks stuck to Hansen so far.
Yeah, no, that's his great strength. Puts himself in the right position, and you're right, Lingy. They've got to take him out of that position. They've got to get him out of that back 50.
Gee, Jacobs a bit nonchalant there, and Collier was able to strip it, but poor kick coming in. Ferrito sweeping it wide slowly. Oh, Gleeson just fell for one there, and McMillan gets it away to half forward. Petrie attacked it hard. Thomas not quite. Brown doing some lurking. Well done, Fletcher to Hibbard to Watson. He's played a lot of forward 50 tonight with a couple of goals in that opening term. Milsham at centre wing.
Close to the boundary. Goes down that boundary, and that's interference to Danaher.
That was better by Melksham. Led up, got the ball on Lockie Hansen, got the ball into Danaher in a one-on-one, gave away the free kick, Scotty Thompson.
Now Zach Merritt, cut inboard, watch the left foot, kicks from the 50. Danawood's fall forward, plenty of tall timber, too much. Heppel! Well, the idea was great, just misses. Brown came back on Goldstein, not what you want to see.
Brad Scott quite rightly shaking his head there, Dennis.
Harvey. Generally very precise when he kicks it in. Sometimes he kicks it to himself, not this time though. Just lobs it. Bastanak.
Back to the veteran. So just the second 37-year-old to play for North Melbourne. Fletcher at 40, of course, just the second player 40 or over to ever play. And both those previous encounters were back in the 1920s, so crazy stuff. Harvey, McDonald, good kick, penetrating. Oh, Thomas went really early, and now he's going to kick a goal. And he does.
Not sure about that either.
Well, I'm not sure you're allowed to do that. No. Boys, you're not allowed to jump early. I mean, that's just a bad miss by the umpire. Players make mistakes, umpires make mistakes, and that was one of them.
Listen to you. There's the Bads. McKernan backs out of the pack minus the football. Swallow reaches in, so suddenly the margin is out to 12 points. And Essendon need to be careful.
Hanson's in a bit of trouble down here too. He's come off the ground. He's in the hands of the trainers and the doctor and the physio at the moment too, so he's really struggling to stretch right out.
Goldstein proving a handful. He's a wonderful player.
Gee, that's a blow. Tim, there's a free kick to North Melbourne in the middle, but Lockie Hansen been so influential tonight.
Cunnington inside the forward 50. Hibbert raised his knuckles. Dempsey under pressure. 2-on-1 out there. Not required the extra number. Getting down low. Jacobs took a very good mark. He's averaging 21 possessions a game this season. Just lobs one. Looking for Brown, off hands, dangerous ball. Essendon need to deal with it. Higgins emerges though, looks towards the middle. Zeeble got there in time. The Bombers are teetering.
Just an update on Hansen. It looks to be his left groin. His left groin, so I don't know whether he's had some troubles with that in the past.
Timmy had a big hip problem last year, so that's not quite the groin, I know, but sort of in that area.
It can all be a bit related, though. If he's stiff through the hip, might put a bit of extra strain on it.
Zeeble. That looks pretty good. Into the Bomber cheer squad. That hurts.
So Zeeble's goal, they stretch their lead. Let's go back to their captain with the sounds of the game from Andrew Swallow.
You can't keep that one, you reckon?
Good stuff. He's done his bit, hasn't he, with 5 tackles and 10 marks. 10
a lot of grunting and a lot of effort there, Andrew.
I wouldn't say a lot of not a lot of voice there, is there? But as you said, a lot of grunting. He's a fantastic player. He's a great leader in the way he goes about his attack on the footy.
Well, since the here we go. Gee, Duck, you can organise it now. Hurley. So since the McKernan no mark, 5 forward 50 entries for 4 goals for North Melbourne. Milsham.
5 metres, Michael. 5 metres, Michael. Thank you.
Left centre wing. Oh, wow. Early spoil from McKernan. Ball goes out of bounds.
As Tim just mentioned, Lockie Hansen getting a bit of treatment on the boundary. He's coming back on the ground now. That is really good news for North Melbourne. Had all those hip troubles last year and the start of this year. Tim thought it was perhaps a groin, but he looks okay. At the moment, he's been very influential in this game. So good at marking those intercept balls. Important now that Essendon make him accountable. Don't let him come and cut off and be a nuisance to Joe Danaher. He's done it all night. They have to stop that.
Cunnington, same trick, same effect. To Zeeble, who runs away. Goes down towards half forward. In front, Petrie took a swing at it. Hurley has been good. Got across towards Hooker, but his kick wasn't. And Zeeble having a busy night now. Jack Zeeble, 16th possession. Goes back to McMillan. Back in the side tonight. Tarrant. Haven't called his name very often, but he's doing his job. Versatile player, kicks towards half forward. Goldstein, a late decision. Didn't get to the contest, and the ball spills out of bounds.
That's working well for them, the Kangaroos. Cunnington, that third man up, as you said, Dennis. It's happened a couple of times. He's not the usual player that would do that, and that's why it's working, because they don't expect him to do it.
Dennis also mentioned Zeeble. He's had 10 kicks in this quarter alone. 10 kicks, not disposals. He's been fantastic. Ashby can't get a handle on it. Swallow.
I really think it's his time now, Zeeble. I mean, he's been in the competition. I think he's been a good player. It's his chance right now to go to a very good player in the comp.
107th game tonight. So he's at that point where he's in the peak of his powers as an AFL footballer.
So Goddard and Heppel
holding the ball.
Rarely run down. And this is the thing with Harvey and Fletcher. I don't think anyone's ever said, gee, they're looking old. I mean, even then, Boom were able to run down Heppel.
Well, they haven't lost their speed, have they?
No. And that's been the key, isn't it? That's the reason they're still playing. So McDonald, impressive youngster, to half forward, and Hurley takes a good mark. Had, I think, 15 inside 50s, the Bombers, in this quarter for no goals. They They just need one before half-time here because the margin's doable. They just need to take something in. Heppel toe poking cleverly. Merritt switching. Goddard now, he's good kick. He decides not to go for goal. Not sure if that was a good decision. Watson did well, though. McMillan getting back. Can Watson put the pressure on Hansen? No, they're out, I think. No, they're not. And Goddard will now have a shot for goal.
It's all right. Yeah, I was on the ball. Yeah, it was on my... Call time.
Ask for it. Kick it. Fucking one-on-one.
Call time. Take your time. Yeah.
Fucking get it back. Get it forward.
No argument there.
No, as Ben Jacobs said, he was going the footy, accidental, but certainly high contact to Brendan Goddard. Such an important kick this. He's a beautiful kick of the footy. Has to kick this goal.
And a memo too, we mightn't mic up Lindsay Thomas.
I think you might be right. He's got the skill. It's just the moment, isn't it? It's just huge. It's just massive.
He's had some pretty big moments in his career, hasn't he?
He has. They just need it so badly. He's got it. Well done, Goddard. Well done. He's been a good player for them, hasn't he? I mean,
Let it go now. Don't give away a free in the middle.
He certainly has, Bruce. You're right.
Scotty Thompson.
He's been an excellent player since coming across from St Kilda.
Let it go. Rightio.
There's the free kick again. No arguments there. Completely accidental by Jacobs going at the footy. But Brendan Goddard stood up, kicked the goal. With lots been talked about set shots. Brendan Goddard, no nerves whatsoever there, straight through.
Tim, just in a word, has he been everything the Bombers have wanted him to be, Goddard?
Oh, absolutely. His seasons in the time that he's been at Essendon have been outstanding. One of best and fairest, finished in the top 3 on the other 2 occasions. So, no, he's been outstanding.
So 12 points, the margin in last year's second elimination final. North won, coming from a major deficit. Tonight, not as big, but they've come from behind again to lead at half-time. Swallow puts the body in. Heard the voice, Cunnington, Higgins, and eventually the siren sounds. Well, interesting situation this. North Melbourne 7-9-51 on top of the Bombers 6-3-39.
Yeah, terrific first half with a lot to think about going into the second half here. So 12-point margin for the Kangaroos. Higgins just, you can see the blood on the back of his scone there. So he's just got a cut. And half-time here, it's 6-3 to 7-9.
Okay, give me another high five.
And let's go down to Hamish, who's at ground level. No, yes, he is. He's down there.
I am, Macca, absolutely. This is Hamish Lane. It's the first Hamish I've met. He's the round 7 nominee. Welcome to you, Hamish.
Hello.
Yeah, hello to you. Now, Hamish, you've travelled from where?
Gold Coast.
You are a member of which Auskick club?
Broadbeach.
Member of which AFL clubs?
Gold Coast and Richmond.
Neither are going particularly well at the moment. Captain of Richmond is?
Trent Cotchin.
Favourite player at Richmond is?
Brent Deladio.
Now, I'm told you know a lot about AFL and stats. Is that true?
Yeah.
Winner of last year's grand final?
What?
Winner of last year's grand final. Who won?
Hawthorn.
What was the margin?
68 points. 63 points.
That is absolutely spot on. Now, you're a sort of a likely type. You got a girlfriend at the moment?
No.
You're looking for one?
No.
Weekend away in Melbourne. It's not a bad opportunity. You don't want a bird?
No.
Okay. Well, we'll see what happens. Thanks for coming. You get an opportunity to present a medal on grand final day. Go in the parade and maybe you're the Oz Kicker of the Year, and you, if you win that, get Joel Selwood's number and he's your mentor.
Yeah.
Good chap. Swiss 7 plays on Friday Night Footy.
It was a weird and wonderful week as players, grandstands and even memberships burned. Captain Carlton lost his hovercraft in the water, which had nothing to do with the Ducks' gag of the week.
His favourite drink is water.
The boundary
head first
isn't much safer than the middle.
It's an all-in.
And while the mid-air collision took its toll,
bang!
Shit, McDonald, there's nothing more dangerous than a clumsy teammate.
I think even Shield copped one in the celebration.
The Falcon can also be deadly.
Good Falcon there.
As wayward Sherrans brought tears to the eyes of many.
He just smashed on the nose.
With athleticism and skill,
behind the back job,
footy's high flyers took to the sky.
Skywalker. Magnificent fly. What a mark. Big mark by Haynes. White.
He says when he's done jumping.
Jordan Murdoch dodged and weaved his way past the pies.
That is the best goal he's ever kicked.
Devon Smith's radar was once again bang on target.
That's one of the goals of the season. This is unbelievable.
But from 55 points down,
that's another one.
There's no beating the Saints, who pulled off the greatest second-half comeback in history.
The Saints have got up off the canvas.
Carlton Draft, Front Bar Folklore.
1998, and in the lead-up to the qualifying final, Essendon coach Kevin Sheedy labelled North Melbourne directors marshmallows. But after the final siren, Sheeds was left to eat his words.
And the marshmallows are flying out here at the moment, Bruce. A few are hitting Kevin, but luckily they're very soft.
Sheeds, did you know that was coming? Did you know you were going to be shot down under a hail of marshmallows?
Look, you got to cop it when you lose. And Bomber Thompson was standing behind me.
What did he say?
Oh, he just said, mate, you get yourself into trouble all the time.
What was going through your mind?
Yeah, well, one of my staff said, well, you could take down the backstairs option. I said, well, you can't do that. I mean, that is a marshmallow exercise, that one.
How many people were there that day?
There's 72,000.
And I reckon most of them were carrying marshmallows.
Well, 72,000 is probably one of the biggest games North Melbourne ever got, other than the grand final.
I've never seen a man with a police escort being attacked by marshmallows. You do get yourself into some strange situations,
well, why be boring?
Any danger of you ever coming back to Richmond?
Mate, don't worry about it. It's over. I mean, I'm a life member. I love the Tigers. I'm at Essendon.
You're soft.
I started what?
Guys. See?
Good catch.
Cheers.
This has been a taste of Front Bar Folklore.
Have you signed up for My Footy Rewards yet? This week, you could win a chance to watch a game with an AFL legend. Visit myfootyrewards.com.au.
Corner!
Who come out real hard? That was perfect. Was that in the goal square? Come out. Yeah.
We're around the contest for a right. It's just, mate, we kick straight. We're up by 2 goals.
Game's going okay. Just got to get a bit of composure around goals. That'll come. Most important thing is in the contest.
Oi, we're losing our forward structure a bit. Boom! That's good. The kick out, just that short one. Boy, that's just sloppy. That's sloppy. That's sloppy.
Still have the ball.
Yeah. Just play the percentages. All right.
Gee, interesting stuff. Well done to North Melbourne there. Andrew Swally with the sounds of the game. He's done his bit in the first half. 5 tackles and 12 disposals to half-time. So at half-time, North do lead by 12 points. That late Goddard goal, so important, wasn't it?
It was. It's been an entertaining first half, to be honest. I've loved the fact that the Bombers are taking the game on. The Kangaroos obviously got back into it in that second quarter.
It's been on the back of blokes like Andrew Swallow, Cunnington and Zeeble as well. Those strong bodies through the middle, they're doing the job at the moment for the Roos.
Bomber fans out there reckon they've been hard done by. They reckon they've had no luck at all in the second quarter. Tell us about the McKernan mark. Was it a mark or not?
Well, I actually think it was, and I tend to agree. I think they have been dealt a harsh hand tonight, because I think that was a definite mark. He held that long enough.
And if not a mark, certainly pulling down of the arm, free kick, definitely should have been a mark. So.
There's chopping of the arm. I think pulling down of the arm is also a free kick.
Yep.
So down at the other end, shortly after, Jared Waite.
Well, that's the thing that sent the Essendon fans absolutely crazy. To all of us here, we think that's a fair contest, a fair attack on the ball. That happens in a marking contest. What's it called? Incidental contact. Yep. Bagley's got every right to attack that footy, and I don't think there's a free kick there.
No, neither do I.
Lindsay Thomas a few minutes later. What about this one?
Well, this one was a free kick because you're not allowed to jump early and I guess take someone almost out of the contest, because Hurley was taken out of it and then recovered. So that's a blatant free kick for mine.
And what's that called? It's unrealistic attempt to mark the footy, and yeah, should have been a free
So, guys,
kick.
you reckon those Bomber fans are on the ball by yelling out, do you?
I think
they've got a point.
Yep.
Here's Hamish Lane, our Oz kicker tonight. He's had a good night. He's had 14 disposals, 5 tackles, a couple of goals and 3 really good smiles. He's really having a good night.
Pretty happy with himself, isn't he?
Yeah, but look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? And don't forget the Telstra Friday Night Countdown with Hamish, Wayne and Lingy. That's 7 mate at 7 Eastern. Neil Danaher having a real battle with motor neurone illness. He'll join Tim Watts in a special interview after this on the halftime show. What a player he was, what a coaching career he had at Melbourne. And the 4 Danaher brothers all played together in round 22 at Moorabbin in 1990. Ironically, on the same day that Sean McKernan playing tonight was born.
Welcome back to Etihad Stadium. Inside the North Melbourne rooms there, they lead Essendon by 12 points at half-time. The Bombers kicking the last goal just before half-time. They've got plenty of work to do to get themselves right back into this game. Well, last year we saw former Essendon champ and Melbourne coach Neil Danaher talking publicly for the first time about his battle with motor neurone disease. What I'd like to do now, before we introduce Neil and chat to him about that, is just show you this video that's been prepared by Neil and others that you're going to recognise.
Motor neuron disease is a killer. There is no effective treatment.
There is no cure. First, you can't catch a ball. Then you can't even catch your breath.
Eventually, you can't speak. You can't walk. You can't eat.
You become trapped within your own body. Every 12 hours, one Australian is diagnosed with MND.
And every 12 hours, one Australian dies from MND.
It can affect anyone.
Anyone.
Anyone. Without research, MND will keep on killing.
Without you, we won't find a cure.
Well, it's bleak, it's confronting, and the man that we saw there joins us right now, Neil Danaher. Welcome to you, Neil.
Thanks, Tim.
It is bleak, it is confronting. What can you tell us right now about where you're at with the disease?
Well, it is confronting. The disease is confronting. It's a killer. There's no survivors. There's no good story. Right now, there's no cure. There's no treatment. But that doesn't mean in time we'll find a cure.
Now, we can tell, obviously, by your voice, it's affecting your voice. Neil had one of the safest pairs of hands in football when I was playing. I mean, this is what the disease is now doing to your hands. I mean, you know that better than anybody, what the disease is doing to you. It's a small army that you've got together at this point to try and find or help raise enough money to do some more research on the disease. But you need more help, don't you?
We need more help. We're only a small foundation, and I don't know how long I've got left, but with that time I want to help raise some funds. The medical researchers who will find a cure, they're fantastic, but they're woefully underfunded, and I want to help, but I'm only one. I need, we call this disease a beast.
Yep.
To beat it, we need an army of people, and I'm calling on people to help me to raise some funds so we can kill this beast.
Well, we're going to mobilise that army. We're going to help you mobilise that army tonight. In an unprecedented move, all the AFL partners have got together. We're going to hold a fundraiser over the next 3 weeks. We're titling it Freeze MND at the MCG. This is the Ice Bucket Challenge you will have seen last year. And for the Queen's Birthday Monday, Melbourne and Collingwood match, we're building a giant water slide ski run at the MCG. At the foot of that slide there will be the biggest ice bath pool professional sport has ever seen. 2 tonnes of ice will go into that pool. We'll be freezing some of the biggest names in AFL broadcasting and beyond by sending them down the slide into the ice bath. The rules are pretty simple. Each celebrity is challenged. We're calling on you out there, the general public, to start donating tonight. You can see the numbers there and the link there on the screen. Once we get to $10,000 for each of those celebrities that are nominated, we'll be sending them down that slide into the ice pool, and that celebrity will also then nominate and identify the next AFL identity to be frozen. So the Ice Bucket Challenge was doing exactly the same. We're just doing it in a much bigger way. Neil, the first thing we have to do, though, from you is we actually have to get a nomination for that first person to get this ball rolling tonight.
Well, Tim, you ice bucketed me twice last week.
Yep.
So, mate, you're going in first. I nominate you.
I'm happy to do that, but I'm not going in there until we raise $10,000. So please, generously give to this. It is a great, great charity that we're talking about. We need to freeze this disease, this MMD. This is the bravest bloke I know. I know you don't want me to say that. You're also inspirational. We want to help him. We want to help all those other MMD sufferers out there. Let's get back to the broadcast now.
I want to freeze you, Tim. I want to freeze you.
Let's throw back now to Dennis and also Bruce McAvaney.
Great stuff, Tim, and to Neil as well. So that's the challenge. What a brave man. So the second half about to commence, and Essendon trail North by 12 points on this Friday night.
Siebel's over the football. Howlett in the action, still inside the centre circle, working his way forward. He's getting a free kick. There you go. Plays on quickly. Watson inside the forward 50, hangs a long time in the air, reaching over the top. Thompson leading back in the race. Hansen, Ambrose gets a boot in there, and the Bombers get the fast start.
I just got over the back here. This ball, Clever getting his boot to it, lunging effort. Good start by the Bombers. Of course, we saw Ben Howlett get the free kick from the centre. He's been subbed into the game. Cole Langford is the bloke who's been subbed out. Copped the big knock in that first quarter with a really courageous effort in a marking contest. He's out, unfortunately, for the Essendon Footy Club.
Out on the 4 against Ferrito. Watson winning the centre clearance. So Dempsey was the worry early, wasn't he? But we saw young Langford with real courage, didn't we, that Hurd acknowledged the quarter time when they'll walk into the huddle. Melshon's been okay, and he misses the lot there. So Duck, suddenly that late Goddard goal, the early Ambrose goal, game on, isn't it?
It sure is. 2 big centre clearances. Just so important in footy today to win it out of the middle and get it into your forward line quickly.
Here's Ferrito out of the back pocket. High ball over the top. Siebel didn't hang on. Found it on the ground. Well, Hansen standing still, not the ideal target. Running out of space, McDonald does well along the boundary. Swallow ushered across by Howlett, boundary throw-in. So a spark for the Bombers to start this third term.
Thanks, boys.
It looks like Ben Howlett, Dennis, come on straight into the role on Ben Cunnington, who had such an influence in that first half. He's going to do not necessarily a hard tag, but certainly an accountable run with role on Cunnington, quality player. Andrew Swallow there on the bench. Looks in a little bit of discomfort. We'll get down to Tim shortly to find out what's going on with the North skipper.
Tim making his way down after the Neil Danaher interview.
High contact, Essendon. Too high.
So Gleeson's free.
Push out, Sam. Play on.
Uses Goddard. And then Goddard bangs long. Danaher the target, but it was a difficult one. And the numbers got back. So Swallow does look in some discomfort now. This is where it probably happened a moment ago. Does he get a bit of a cork or not sure? No.
I think it's more his hand,
yeah,
Bruce.
Yeah, you're right.
Just had a bit of ice on it now, getting strapped up by the physio, Steve Saunders.
Heppel on behind. Looking at Atley sitting there, he's going to be very handy to come on, isn't he, with what he can do to a match.
First time as a sub, he gives him so much run and drive, doesn't he?
Tarrant in the back pocket, plays on immediately to Gibson. Is it right half back? Spots Cunnington back towards the centre square. Cunnington into Mines. Gibson runs on. 50-50 ball. Dempsey's coming up to meet it. Dempsey wins it. Oh, brilliant stuff. Stolen away. Courtney Dempsey goes down towards half forward. Awkward half volley. Bell Chambers. He's outnumbered on the deck. But that's a very good result for the Bombers. Watch this.
Brilliant.
Well, protected the ball, didn't he?
No worries about his movement either. That was the worry in the first half. Cunnington showed a fair bit of it, didn't he? Siebel's been outstanding. Hurley getting backdrops that he normally would take. Ben Brown gets it to Thomas, who's clever. We know that. Now he pops it up to full forward. Petrie engages Hooker, and Hooker wins that one. It's a good duel, isn't it? Petrie kicked a couple. Hooker, all-Australian defender. Fletcher, Heppel, building Heppel. You know he'll just keep going, but he shows too much of it. Bagley had to get down. Well done by Gibson. He was beaten a moment ago for a one-on-one, but he won that one and a ball up.
Thanks, mate.
Bounce just inside the centre square. North's way. Goldstein intended for Harvey. Bagley did well. Heppel, Gleeson. Now Howlett. Watson finds himself in space. Worth a kick, Melksham. Gleeson runs on, 55 metres out, long kick, Danaher held.
Joe Danaher!
Free kick in the goal square.
That's on his free kick. Essendon.
Now, interesting, I don't think Wade Chamberlain paid this necessarily, but it clearly was a free kick.
Held onto the arm.
Yeah. May have been the umpire in midfield who would have had a better view of it. Chamberlain was off to the left as we see it now, and the holding occurred on the right. So Danaher, big time kick this one. Should be a formality. It is. And the Bombers lead by a point.
I just love the creativity of this handball. Watson could have gone the boundary kick there, but brought it back into the middle, which just unleashed the run of Gleeson from behind, and that's why Scotty Thompson panicked. Deep, dangerous entry, creative by Watson.
Bombers in front. So there were 3 goals down just before half-time. Gibson, Nahas, Heppel, Thomas kept his call. Bagley cut it off. So just repeating, 12 goals to the right of screen tonight, the Fletcher end, and 3 to the left, the Lloyd end. I mean, no wind, obviously. We're in a beautifully controlled stadium with a roof on top, but Essendon doing as they did in the opening term, going quickly. Heppel, Ashby, high ball, contest.
Push out to Danaher.
Pretty silly there too, because Hansen was in the box seat, and now Gleeson running on and caressing it. It looked home, didn't it? It got the wrong bounce. So, yep.
Yeah, as you said, just silly. Hansen was in the box seat.
That's dangerous, that one. That can really, really hurt a player.
Holding the man, Kangaroo.
White to get a free kick
Holding
here.
the man, Sam Wright's kick.
Bit of anything too, Duck. It can actually hurt your teammate.
No, that's
if he pushes Danaher into Hansen there.
It's only his 8th free kick for the year. Danaher, he's given away 19, so gives away a lot more than what he gets. He definitely deserved that one.
Leads the league, actually, as the high ball comes up towards the wing. Over the top, Fletcher thumped it down. Cunnington, hand pass smothered, rolls towards Waite. He backs out of the pack minus the football. Got a whistle.
Thanks,
right
Benny.
on the wing.
Cheers, mate. Penny. Thank you.
Bombers lead it by 2 early going. Third term, Friday night football.
Thanks very much.
Goldstein and McKernan. McKernan in place of Carlisle. Cunnington just taken across the boundary. So a good comeback by the Bombers. They trailed by 12, but as Bruce said, it was 18 points just a moment before. They got a late goal. McKernan, Bastanak out of trouble, into more trouble. Lurking was Watson, picked up by Harvey. McKernan's got it. Shrugs a tackle, does well. Collier
goes to full forward. Big fly at the back. Came from Bill Chambers. Good tackle up the front by Danaher. He's been lively. Howlett, can he release the footy? Not quite. Zach Petner did well. Ambrose, Goddard can't get the hook. He had a handball on, but he took responsibility. He was close enough. And Essendon on top for the moment. North, they had it in the forward 50 in this quarter. I'm not sure if they have.
Play on. Hey, Drewy, let's go on the footy, buddy.
So Gibson, Ferrito over the top. Nahas likes to get on his bike, not this time.
Gibson finding a lot of the football in this term. Goes down towards right half forward. That's a good mark.
Hold there.
Harvey at full stretch, feigns a hand pass, comes back towards the middle. Gibson presenting again, gets inside the 50. Gibson unloads, long kick, 5 metres out. Thomas not paid the mark. No interference, picked up by Hibberd. Hibberd the hand pass across to Collier. Saw it was Petrie, took him on. Zach Merritt. Hibberd charges through midfield. Hand passes to Stanton. Petrie kept coming. Stanton forced to retreat. Terrific stuff by the Kangaroos. They win a hard ball in midfield. Trying to crash his way through was Bastanak. He couldn't quite, but he's got a ball up, and momentarily it seemed they were gone. And that's a full brother to a free kick.
Great call there a moment ago, Dennis. It was like they put a wall up North Melbourne. They were banging through the Bombers and they couldn't get past. Terrific quarter of footy. Hibberd, Dempsey went without it. Higgins courageously whacks the handball forward. Now Hibberd's a left footer. Releases Goddard. Dempsey too slow, gone. Play on. Nahas, well, there's a chance here. Wake engages. Well played, Fletcher. How old is he? Remind me, Dennis. Please tell me.
Seems young to me, Bruce, as the ball goes towards the outer side. Melksham leads back in the race. Hacks it down towards half forward. This passage initiated by a 40-year-old, if you don't mind. Ferrito over the top. Hansen's got it now, left half back. Pokes it up towards the wing. Brown looks inboard. Fair enough. Bastanak to half forward. Petrie. Oh, eyes only for the football man, crossing his path. Goes short and finds Nahas. That was terrific vision by Petrie coming up. It was like crossing a live runway at Heathrow. There was a guy to your left, but you just kept going anyway because you packed your bags.
That's your line. Thank you.
So Nahas now with an important kick.
Go on, Rob.
Bombers lead by 3. This to reverse that. Nahas, the kick is on the way, and it's wide of the mark. So the margin is 2 points.
So set shots tonight, Doug. 5 straight the Bombers, 4-6 the Kangaroos.
Yeah, no. Bad kicking is bad football. It may cost them at the end of the game, Bruce.
So the kick to centre wing. Goldstein did well. Jacobs released after Swallow gave it to him. Cunnington looks up, kicks to the pocket. Higgins worked underneath it. Hurley, well done. Hooker versus McMillan. Ball in dispute. Stanton and Nahas. Nahas and Stanton. And the ball out in the boundary throw-in.
It's more about where you miss them from, isn't it? I mean, they're very kickable. When you're 30, 40 metres out, they're the ones that you expect to kick. Obviously, if they're from the boundary, not as much weight.
Boundary throw-in. Goldstein, Bell Chambers, a lot of twos there. Cunnington on his knees. Howlett did well. Good tackle. Stymied the ball.
Thanks, Ben.
It'll be thrown up right on the 50. Midway through the turn. Heppel third man up, but Zeeble is getting a free kick. Now, he was going to be third man up, and I think Goddard cut him off at the pass.
Push out.
I think they might have had an instruction, the Bombers, to make sure that Zeeble and Cunnington don't go third man up at that time. Clumsy about it.
Zeeble, dangerous kick. Wait, almost. Petrie. Nobody kick it. He's got a ball up about 25 metres out.
Yep. Go there.
He's had a presence, Petrie, hasn't he?
Been good tonight.
Against quality opposition. Dempsey did well, just got enough on it. Gibson, Ashby. It's courageous, Ashby. Harvey, twisting, turning, delivering. McDonald, Dempsey ran him down. Tim, I know you're back there now. Dempsey's been good. I mean, he was the one we were worried about.
Yeah, no, it looked that he was going to end his night very early, but he did a bit of a warm-up, and then they had another look at him, and they're quite satisfied now he's okay. And he's done a lot of running on. He's really tested it out. He'll be okay.
He's done a good job. Hurley and Nahas. Goddard has to release. Well done, Wait. Goddard and Wait again. Goddard can't get through. Was he held on to? Stanton was he held on to? It's a free kick.
Essendon.
And Essendon worked it hard. Just little bits.
Yes, Drew. He's a diver, this bloke. Okay, time back on.
Gee, we're learning a lot tonight, so okay, we'll write that one down.
Move it on, please. Play on.
Stanton goes back to Fletcher, who's an old stager himself. Dustin Fletcher. High ball. Goldstein trying to work in front. Danaher the big leap. McDonald with the poise. Higgins Cunnington. Oh, well done, Dempsey. Dempsey wins a free kick at right half back. The ball that needed to be won. Sends it high, just beyond the wing. Ambrose was being held. Hansen just grabbed it.
Now Goddard's off from the bike, but he hasn't been able to get that far. So Heppel just held them up a bit here, North. Heppel, Brown got a finger on it. North may be able to turn it over. Milsham good there. Terrific tackle. Watson working his way through. Little toe poke forward, Ambrose. And again, a ball up, I think.
Just the last 5 minutes or so, Essendon haven't been able to get that fluent ball movement. The way they started this third quarter, they were really attacking deep inside 50. North Melbourne have fixed up their defence right across the ground, holding Essendon up well.
Gee, Ambrose with a physical presence. Howlett, little give was good, and Zach Merritt just misses, so Essendon by 3 points.
Gotta take those chances. Quality player like Merritt. Now this ball's gone off the hands of Hansen, out of bounds. So the Bombers doing as they did early in the game, putting their stamp on things. They're up by 3, but on exposed form, they're doing better than that. McKernan to the back of the pack. Cunnington. That's better. Although Gibson's kick bounces out of bounds. Brown in front. What a man to get past. Backhands it down. Ricochets across to Zeeble. Zeeble's kick goes up towards the wing. Fletcher's over the football. Thomas played it well. Zach Merritt even better. Hibbert taken high.
High tackle. Right there.
A hamstring for Brown. Let's have a look.
He looks sore, doesn't he?
Yeah.
It's not good.
Good mark by McKernan.
He's been good tonight, McKernan.
Very good.
Important touches.
To full forward, and Hansen's been supreme, hasn't he?
Well, again, I know we're repeating ourselves, but they have to stop him being able to do that. They have to engage him, lead to some dangerous spots. Chance now, though, the Bombers.
Sorry, Lingy, but Tarrant was just awful there. Good tackle, though, and Essendon can't get it out and the ball up.
My ball.
It's a slack kick, and here's Brown. Is it hammy knee?
Thank you, gents. My football, please. Rob, can you get him up? Michael, up
It's
now,
sore,
please.
whatever it is.
He's taken 5 intercept marks
Might be
tonight,
quad.
Hansen.
Might be the quad. So Essendon deep in attack.
Zeeble again, so much of the football. Heppel gets back. I'd suggest almost within range. Brown hobbles.
Looks like his left knee as he comes to the bench. Essendon got a problem too if their runner. Justin Crow's actually done his calf tonight, so their team manager, Johnny Elliott, not the Johnny Elliott, John Elliott, he's out there running for the Bombers now.
Mason Heppel then. Well, the stunt of the competition. In he comes from 50. Hit the post. What a post is lately, Bruce.
Plenty tonight, 3 tonight, wait a couple. Let's kick 1-3, Heppel. Played well. 4 shots on goal. That's a great kick out. Cunnington, Zeeble, they've been so important tonight. Gets the check side to work. Hurley read it best. God, he's a dasher, Hurley, isn't he? Hooker, partner in crime. Wide, Merritt. Now, he's got the smarts, Merritt, but he's found his match. Swallows got him and done him. As Brown gets worked on.
Gee, that's a strong tackle. Merritt tried to take him on, tried to use a bit of a step on him, but Swallow just wrapped him up beautifully. Great technique.
And he kicks to the pocket. Wait, a good target. Hooker got in there. Nahas lurking, boundary throw in. As Brown, they work on trying to get him back in. Attlee, the sub, he'll be released at some stage, but they wouldn't want Brown to be the one to go off.
Scott animated. Thomas taken high. Well, you'd like a dollar for every time he's taken high.
Push right out.
It's a hard way, as we've said before, to get a free kick.
At the end of the day, if you know you're tackling him, you know you just have to go extra low. Let's have another look. Yeah, just dips that shoulder enough. That's where you just have to go low.
Yeah.
Round the waist, don't even risk it.
Brings that left arm up like a lever. Thomas has booted one. This for the lead if it's straight. Lively forward. There's a man who's back from the yips. And he misses, but not by much. Margin 3 points. Brown continues to struggle, and that looks pretty final.
Yep. So, Tim, it looks like the vest on, for Brown?
Yes, Macca, his night's ended now, so he's out, and Atley will be on, which will give them enormous amount of run, though, too.
Yeah, he's going to be a weapon, you would think. Goldstein, strong mark. He's had a huge year, Goldstein. Huge couple of years. He just caresses and sets. A good-looking kick. Take your pick. It was either Thomas or Zeeble. It's a good kick by Goldstein. Set play, wasn't it?
They've been so good tonight, haven't they? Those half-type kicks, they just take the full speed off the kick. They're a half kick. The player leading knows exactly where it's going, and again, it hits the target.
And they don't kick it to where the players, the forwards, were. They kick it to where they want them to be. And as Tim said, lets them run into it. Lets them run and jump and take a mark. Thomas, I'm sure, will have learnt from his last kick.
And as Dennis said, his transformation from a poor kick for goal to a very good one has been impressive over the last 4 years. You'd back him from here. Well, there you go. Gets it home.
Barney just gave away. It was pulled back, was it? Yeah. To lock it up, I said after locked up. Yeah. Oh.
Giving a bit of a test there.
I didn't know the magic spray was still around. Still using it to good effect.
For really serious cases. The ball goes out towards the wing. Atley goes after it. Ashby tackles him. Close to the boundary line. Atley. Ashby. Now Howlett joins in. Well played. Bastanak drives it inside the forward 50. Cunnington. About 30 metres out, if that. Averaged 22 possessions a game last season. On his way to the best and fairest. He's been busy again tonight. He's up to 20. Only Zeeble has more, 24. Off on the way. 17 possessions last week for Cunnington. Good players don't like that for a week. They smoulder. There goes the kick, and it's through.
Saw the Brown injury. Let's go to Dr. Rowan White from Triple M. Rowan.
Yes, Bruce. Ben Brown on the bench after that marking in it out on the wing. He's come off. The doctors were assessing his knee, checking his cruciates. Now, look, not sure at this stage, Bruce. They're heavily icing the area. Obviously, there's some concern. There's no doubt he'll be getting scans to get further assessment of that left knee. No further part in the game.
Thanks, mate. Dr. Rowan White there. So that's the story with Ben Brown. Zeeble, Cunnington for North, Heppel, Watson for Essendon. Who's got the edge?
I think Heppel, Watson, but we're talking about a Brownlow medalist and maybe a Brownlow medalist in the future. That's how good those two are.
As players, the Essendon ones, but tonight I reckon the North Melbourne ones are starting to shade them. I reckon Cunnington, Zeeble going past them.
Yeah, they've come back hard, haven't they? The pair of them. It's been a big contribution from all four tonight, hasn't it? They've all hit the scoreboard and they've all had plenty of the ball. And maybe those four between them could play a huge part in who wins this match. Stanton, Dempsey taking off with a bounce. Does he go another one? He does. Now he can line it up and kick it and just miss it. It was thrilling for 99% of the ride.
8 points the margin. Thompson short. Hanson outside the defensive 50. Goldstein. Short one. Bastanak. Well, he did play on. Told to play on. Hanson. Goldstein again. Back to the goal square now. Thompson draws a man. Need to get some separation here. Tarrant demands somebody come at him. Higgins obliges. He started well, Higgins. Has drifted out of the game. Comes back to the corridor. Now they're a chance. Hanson held up. Heppel standing his ground. Hansen looks down towards half forward. On the move is Waite. Will he get to the competition? Well, he certainly did.
Don't lose it! 50 metres. High contact. And I'm reporting you. Hey! I'm reporting you for striking him. High contact. Can you get his number?
This sort of trouble before, hasn't he?
He has. Just so clumsy. He got there late.
Yeah.
Didn't need to do it. Certainly didn't need to get him in the back of the head.
I reckon he's been reported a couple of times, or given time certainly, for the same thing.
So, Josh just tells me, historically, 7 times he's been reported, Jared Waiton. 8 games he's missed through suspension.
And he tends to have a habit when he's in good form. He does something silly and misses a couple of weeks and loses all momentum.
So Fletcher to spread it. How do the two teams react after that? Hurley to Gleeson.
It's not a major one, but it's just a stupid one.
None of these are major ones. They are always silly.
Danaher! Wow! Danaher! I'm looking across at another Danaher to the left of us who spoke to Tim Watson at half-time, and that really was something. And the same number as his Uncle Neil carried. Duck. There's nothing better in footy than that, is there?
There's not, is there? He's been really good tonight. I've just loved his attack on the footy. That was a great mark.
Does he get a second goal? Oh, he's missed it.
Still thinking about the mark. It happens so much when someone takes a massive grab like that. They go back and let themselves down with a miss, but boy, you'd love that.
Either that, Duck, or they play on. Like a self-sourcing pudding, you inspire yourself. As Harvey goes straight up the middle, mark is taken there by Hansen, knocking up, marking short and long kicks, and now 50. Now, this puts him within scoring range. Hansen started life as a forward.
So you've got to follow him. You've come from outside the protected. You came from outside the protected area. It's a 50.
Mate, we marked the ball on the square, by the way.
It's a 50.
You're joking.
Right out, boys. Clear right out.
How can you call that?
Right on the mark.
Good stuff.
He's on it. Come down. Lindsay.
What are you going to do?
Go.
What the fuck are you
Just
going to
go.
do?
Memo. Umpire Finlay standing around sort of just taking names and numbers, but nothing to do with him. Melksham is not a happy camper at the moment. Hansen could be happy, although this one is wide of the mark. Behind. Still increases the lead. They're up by 8 now. Umpire was right there, of course.
Yep. He's been good, Hansen, isn't he? Yep. Is he in your top 5, Duck?
Oh, he's played well, hasn't he?
Bit early to go with that, I know. Sorry, Duck. I'd like to get a little preview of your last quarter efforts.
He's right up there.
What a good game it's been, eh? So much to think about. Huge build-up for so many different reasons. Pretty tight. North have looked slightly the better team for more of the night, perhaps. Stanton belting forward. And reading it well. Tarrant. Oh, Jacobs, he may get away. He does. Back to Tarrant. His weight has been reported. Tarrant probably doubling his disposals for the night in this passage of play. Thomas, oh! Wow! Oh!
KO, everyone walk away!
Little big man,
He's got a habit of doing that when he gets up. He twists in mid-air. He doesn't like to use his hands hard at the footy like most forwards do. He likes it coming onto him softly. That I don't know how he took it because his eyes weren't on the footy, but
that is outstanding body control in the air, isn't it?
Remarkable mark. Massive kick again here now. He's had a big third quarter. Can he kick a third goal here and give North some breathing space? A sensational mark. Right on three-quarter time. He's missed it. So Danaher couldn't finish it off and Thomas couldn't finish it off. Couldn't be better set up, could it? Everything to play for. Three-quarter time here on a Friday night as the Kangaroos over the Bombers. So next Friday night, Geelong and Carlton at Etihad Stadium. Last year they met twice. The margins were 5 points in round 12 and 6 points in round 21. The Cats won both the games. One interesting fact, Bryce Gibbs polled 6 Brownlow votes in those 2 games. Three-quarter time here. It's a 9-point margin. North Melbourne 9-13-67 over Essendon 8-10-58. Down to you, Tim.
Well, I think it's going to be a massive ask for the Bombers in this last quarter. They're coming off a 6-day break over there in Perth. They've had the emotional roller coaster during the week, and their average points for this season has been 71, so they're going to have to do a lot better than that to get over the top of the Kangaroos tonight.
Started the final term then. Goldstein on the way down decisively. Zeeble, 25 possessions now. That was a good grab. Wonderful concentration by Melksham. Wants to go and feeds it back to Hibbert, to Bagley. Bagley at the interchange gates. His side down by 9 points. High ball inside the forward 50 from behind. Big leap by Bill Chambers. Had the run. Nobody blocked it.
Well, they started with Sean McKernan in the ruck in the centre bounce. Looking a little bit undersized against Goldstein, but he competed well. That allowed Bell Chambers to start as a forward. That is a terrific run and grab. If he can go back and slot this, gee, it'll lift his team. Big blokes going forward, kicking goals. Everybody gets around that.
When you see him do that, you wonder why he can't do it more often, don't you?
Tom Bell Chambers. Kick is on the way, and that's deadly accurate. Wonderful mark, wonderful finish. Essendon get back into it.
No Paddy Ryder, of course, this year. We all know that. And a big chance for Bill Chambers to really establish himself.
Well, big season. He needs to step up and do it constantly, consistently for the Essendon Footy Club. 14 contested marks now for the Bombers. They only average 7.5 a game. So they're certainly marking it well.
Zeebel's been good all night, particularly since quarter time. Beautiful mark by Hurley. So back to a kick in it. Hurley spreads it wide. Melksham inboard. Hibbert running hard. Normally a good kick, and Collier, who was good early, that's a big drop. Cunnington, strong hips. McDonald shows a bit of it, and Dempsey's closing speed has been impressive tonight, as it usually is.
The rival coaches. Hurd has won 1 out of 4 against Brad Scott. Boundary throw in. McKernan over the top. Goddard found a way through. Clever. Melksham, who's playing angry at the moment, kicks it down towards half forward. Danaher just came down into the waiting arms of Scotty Thompson. Ball up.
Probably think they've had the advantage in the ruck, Lingy. I think McKernan and Bell Chambers have certainly worked over Goldstein. Hasn't had a lot of the ball today, Goldstein, only the 7 possessions.
McKernan, his big body in again. He's cramped up, I think, McKernan. Meantime, it's going to be a free kick, and it's going to Swallow. He's being held. Right half back. Might for sound tonight.
Move it on.
North Melbourne to bring it out of defence.
He's played his part, the captain. Dempsey was in the front spot. Fletcher, first game as a 40-year-old for him, and just about the whole world. Stanton, unless your name's Cumberland. And now Nahas stretching it and going to half forward. Hooker did well. He just worked Petrie. Now, well, that was deft. Heppel. Just see Heppel playing a big last quarter, though. That one he shows too much. Nahas gets across. Stanton running a little tired. Harvey has had some moments. Not a big night, but enough. Gibson off that step. High ball. Thomas went very early. Hurley. Higgins back turning. Heppel can't strip him. Higgins back to Nahas. Nahas off the step. Petrie. Not quite. McKernan held up by weight. Ball up.
Thanks, boys.
Well, Tim mentioned the 6-day break for the Bombers coming back from Perth. They're going to have to help themselves. They have to use the ball well. If they've got any run now, they've got to make sure they use the ball efficiently. Can't keep coughing it up to North Melbourne.
North by 3 points. Nahas off the ground.
So clear. Let's set up, guys. Set up.
Just so quick, isn't he? And against a quick man, so goal's going to stand, isn't it?
Nothing there that I see would overturn that one. Clear goal to Robbie Nahas.
Got so many goal scorers, haven't they? And potential goal scorers, North, this season with the introduction of Wade and Higgins, and add Nahas to that list, and with their normal suspects. It's a potent forward line, and now they have some breathing space. Harvey. It's a real workhorse, Gibson, isn't he? He's a neat footballer. Cunnington. Good kick. Petrie presented. Attlee, the sub, came on in the third quarter. Fletcher bounding through, poor handball. Thomas a chance, but he sprayed it and missed the lot. So he's had 5 shots on goal tonight, Lindsay Thomas. Kicked a couple of behinds from set shots in the third quarter, and that one missing the lot.
Boundary throw in. McKernan's in front. Goldstein over the top. Goddard slips a hand pass away to Hurley. Hurley kicks it outside the defensive 50. Stubbed forward in the wrong direction initially by Danaher. Chopped off by Bastanak. Goes back to Hansen. Now right. Lowers the eyes and punches it in. And the ball off hands from Bagley, and I think he feigns displeasure, but he's got a boundary throw in.
A little bit of a concern for me at these forward stoppages. Goldstein still going up against McKernan. Starting to get his hand on it clearly. Look for the out the back.
And there is Harvey and Fletcher there.
Didn't actually need to get his hand on that one. Just led McKernan under the ball.
Under the footy.
That was neat, wasn't it? Harvey and Fletcher intercepting it. The two guys that are playing one another, what, for the 22nd time, is it?
20 plus.
Yes, 22. It's remarkable. We've never seen two men. Oh, gee, Lindsay Thomas going down low.
Thank you. Just give me the ball. Don't give away 50. Give me the ball.
Well, again, we make the point. You have to go low. It was only just a fraction of a second where Melksham knew he was going to try and get under it. Very frustrated.
Are you happy it's a free kick?
I'm less happy about that one being a free kick than the earlier one. When you shrug up your arm, I say, well, you need to tackle low. That one maybe ducked it a bit.
Yeah, I think that one he's probably ducking in, leaning in, where the others I think he's deserved tonight. But he's been a little bit off with his kicking tonight.
He has. He's had 5 shots stuck for 2 goals. So this really gives North Melbourne the ascendant. See if he can slot it through, and there you go. So maybe those yips that he'd got rid of for such a long time have come back to haunt him a little tonight. Can't quite close the deal here, North, can they?
6-10 from set shots for North Melbourne tonight. Hurley outside the defensive 50. Lurking behind the pack is right, upended by Howlett. Affected the kick. Petrie came strongly. It's been a cameo tonight, but a very good one. Kicks inside the forward 50. Gibson had to be a free and or a mark. What did he pay?
Mark's here. The mark is here.
I don't think Ray knows the answer then.
No.
On your line. Give out the
Takes his
mark,
arms.
okay? Thank you. Out, please.
But then marks it.
15 gone. Waiting.
So Gibson runs inside the 50. Kick is on the way, and it's wide right. 75-64. Could have put this game to rest.
Haven't quite done it, have they? So Essendon still certainly in this match. Just a couple of kicks in it. Hurley to Hooker. Having trouble getting it past here in the last quarter. Since that early goal from Bell Chambers. Good tackle. Ball not quite out. That was clever by Jackson Merritt. Dempsey not so good. Back to Thompson, back to Ferrito. Terrific smother by Dempsey. Well done by Heppel to Merritt, to Ashby, to Goddard. Had to release. Floats it forward. Not a good kick. Well marked by Petrie. It looks like he's positioned himself in the back half.
He's been doing that late in games. Just strips down back, plays that extra tall.
They're going to be hard to get through, aren't they, with him back there? Hanson, Tarrant, Thompson.
From the side, Ashby knocks it towards the boundary, yep. Oh. In the back, apparently, so it's going to be a free kick to Ashby, who just takes off. Runs down towards half forward. Petrie gets on the end of it. Disappointing effort, that one from Ashby. Petrie to Thompson.
That's it, Dyson.
11 points the margin. It seems bigger. Right. Now, on the outer side, Gibson, will it get there in time? No. Well, he made it look easy. That was a terrific grab under real duress and with two Bombers at ground level. 3 against 1, and that's one of the marks of the night. Swallow plays on from half-back up towards the wing, disguised it well, and Gibson has run on to take yet another mark. Swings it back to the middle. Petrie has pushed up from the back. Runner alongside. Harvey wants the footy. Petrie ignores that. Kicks down towards full forward. White almost just jarred loose at the last possible moment. Inadvertent boot from McMillan. Nahas toe pokes it towards goal. Kicked through, I think, by White. He loves it. He celebrates in the goal square.
Well, this is the mark that Dennis was talking about. If that ball comes to ground there, the Bombers would have cleared that and possibly kicked a goal. Instead, it goes down the other end. Jared White, the opportunistic goal in the goal square. Important play from Sam Gibson.
Finishing strongly here, North. 4 of the last 5. Watson, manhandled. Howlett gets through. Essendon have to get the next one. It's a good kick.
49.
Melsham. Has he got the distance here? It's going to quickly go on, and he's going to poke it there, and it's a goal, I reckon it is. Just what they needed in this match.
He's happy, and rightly so. His team just 11 points off the pace now, midway through this term. Still a chance. Goldstein to Swallow. Cunnington dragged down. Heppel goes after it. Great tackle by Higgins. Thomas. Very high kick inside the forward 50. Waits in front. Had the leap. Nahas left the footy behind. Fletcher. Ashby was under some heat. Gives a hand pass across to Dempsey. Dempsey to Howlett. Howlett from right half back. Now a chance for the Bombers. It's a foot race coming across on the angle. McMillan does brilliantly. Just too slick for Heppel, who's tired. Harvey got the ball from Swallow. Has a bounce. Goes through midfield. Kick was too tall for Nahas. That's easy to do. And Hooker behind took the mark.
Big turnover there. Hooker to centre wing. Big fly now. The Bombers lurking. Collier. Well played, Harvey. He's got a 3 to beat, 4 to beat. They gang up on him. Merritt. Ambrose. Merritt to Watson. Stanton's in board. He uses him. Now Stanton looks up. Kicks to the pocket. Like the kick. Down to her. Can't quite. Jackson Merritt needs to toe poke it. He can't. It's a ball up. Essendon back in business, I feel, here.
Good build-up by the Bombers. Joe Danaher so close. Well scrambled by North Melbourne.
Heppel, brilliantly done. Can't get his foot to the ball. North have got numbers. High tackle. That was just disappointing, wasn't it? Because they were under so much pressure. Atlee's kick wide. Gibson having a quarter, isn't it?
When you've got him deep like that, though, you can't let that little outlet kick. Now another kick, well followed up by Atlee. Now the pressure's off a little bit. They're 70 from goal. I would have loved Essendon just to not let them have anything there. Force a long one down the line to a contest.
Atlee back in board. Jacobs. It's okay. It's been terrific, Hanson. Tarrant. Good kicking by North here. 4 good kicks. McMillan. Can he get it long enough to Thomas? He's going to go in and put Harvey under the pump. Watson held on for a long time. No free kick. McMillan got down low. Good decision by the umpire. Danaher, ball up.
Well held up.
Thanks, mate.
Hung on a bit there, Joe, didn't he? But no free to Harvey. Watson and Zeeble do the ruck work. Stanton. Boundary throw-in. I think Essendon are starting to believe here, don't you?
They are. I reckon they think if they can just get that next goal, that's the one. Then it puts the pressure on North, starts playing with their head a little bit.
So Bill Chambers, good tap. Heppel, Goddard, quick kick to centre half forward. Gleeson tracking it back. Still Gleeson. McDonald, Howlett, Ambrose, Watson, taken down. Good stuff by the other captain, Swallow. And Essendon hold it up. Ball up, 45 metres out. Essendon in that forward 50.
Just feel Joe Watson's going to have an impact in this last 8 or 9 minutes' time. He's only had the 4 touches since half-time, so relatively quiet. He doesn't need too many to influence the game.
Bill Chambers knocks it backwards. Heppel, Dempsey finds a way through, 55 metres out. Very high one, wanders towards the pocket. Well, Hansen missed the mark, found the footy on the bounce. Goes through the legs of Ambrose. Well played by Wright. Gave it across to Tarrant. Picked up by Goddard to Ambrose. He snaps, and Ambrose has kicked a goal. His second.
And this is where reputations are made. I mean, this is when you want to be playing footy. This is when you want to grab a game. Match winners. That's what I love, Lingy. Guys that do big things in big moments in the last few minutes of a game.
And look at the blokes in the middle who are prepared to do that. Heppel, Watson, Goddard, Zeeble, Swallow, Cunnington.
Gee, Heppel and Nahas, and Cunnington wins it out. North get it forward, Petrie. Hurley tracking it back.
It's been big, Hurley.
He's so quick, isn't he? Covers the ground well. Goddard and Zeeble and Harvey. Ball gets to the back. That was terrific stuff by Bagley. Heppel in every contest at the moment, isn't he? And a boundary throw-in. Winner tonight in the 8 at least tonight. I mean, a chance to get in front of the pack. 4 and 3 for the winner tonight. North hasn't been in the 8 all year. Essendon just the once. Big stuff here tonight. Heppel. Tim, how do you see it from ground level? We feel like Essendon's last 5 minutes has been telling.
No, they've been really strong in the last 5 minutes. They've been matching it around the stoppages. I mean, these become really critical at this part of the ground. But, I mean, the crowd down here at ground level is right into it too. This is an Essendon home game, and I don't know whether that's going to have any impact or not, but very noisy down here at ground level.
Goddard after the boundary throw-in. Slung. Tackle laid by McDonald. Atley has had no influence. Surprisingly. Thought he would. Heppel. Bill Chambers did well. Gleeson hit that pack hard. Jackson Merritt almost. Goes to his brother. Bounced away from him. Stanton held without it. Well, Zach Merritt took the advantage and has put it out of bounds on the full.
Well, that would annoy James Hird unbelievably. It's basically a standing rule. If there is a set shot, they're back in the game here, though, the Bombers, so I'll be quiet then.
Yeah, well, Jackson Merritt got the hand pass to Heppel. Don't see that often. A right foot kick from Heppel. Didn't go the 10 metres, which worked out okay. So we're going to ball up.
As I was about to say, if there's a free kick paid inside 50, it's going to be a set shot at goal. Unless it's a certain, absolute guaranteed goal, you just stop and you give it back to the bloke to let him have the set shot. You don't take the advantage.
Gibson, does it stay in close to the boundary line? Melchin just stumps it out. So those faces in the crowd. Crowd club wanting a win for so many reasons tonight. They trail by 5.
It's one of those nights, forget everything that's happened so far. It's all about 7 minutes now, isn't it?
Yep.
Terrific. Edge of your seat stuff.
Believe it or not, Bruce, there's players out there right now that don't want the ball to come to them, and then there are players that just will themselves on the contest. Heppel's one of those. You can just see that his intensity has gone to another level.
He's been in every contest, Duck, hasn't he? Atley, Collier. Atley and Collier, a couple of speedsters. Bastanak keeps his head.
3 metres!
So wait, a couple of goals tonight and a report. Cunnington, Hansen, Tarrant.
They've used this kick well all night, North Melbourne.
Well done, Danaher, to get across and just hold it up. If he doesn't push hard across there, Tarrant's able to play on.
It's a second match back for Hansen this year after slow recovery from the hip problems last year. He's been superb tonight. Centre wing, Petrie the target. Good stuff by Gleeson. Watson's hand's good. Collier, Hippen's a left footer, so he swings up. Bad handball. Stanton, can he get the... No, he can't. Cut off by Waite. And then Waite's kicked you. That was big, wasn't it, for North Melbourne? That wrong side for Hibbert, eh?
Yeah. It's the elephant in the room, isn't it? Short one. McDonald. Nobody stands the mark. Drives it inside the forward 50. Thomas slipped over. Not a good time to do that. Well done by Hurley. Put Harvey down, then bounces one towards the boundary, and eventually it goes out. He's been resolute in defence. Tough guy.
Been a bull.
Yeah. Yeah. No easy kicks. Kicks in congestion. Disputed football down there. And invariably, he's made it his own. Tossed in from the side, Watson. Goldstein knocked it forward. Atley getting busy now. Right, had the kick smothered. Swallow went to ground, rolls back towards Goddard. Stayed on his feet. Well played, brilliantly done. Zach Merritt's away. Stanton can't quite get some clearance. Goes back to Zach Merritt, or rather Jackson Merritt, inside the forward 50. Over the football, Danaher didn't take it cleanly, and as a result is bustled out of it by Thompson. Thompson whacks it across towards Petrie. Knew that Gleeson was bearing down, kept his composure. Tired kick though. High one beyond the wing. Harvey almost falls in front. Ashby, well done. Harvey came again. Well done, Ashby. Ambrose the hand pass. Collier steams away. Searching kick inside the forward 50. Ferrito goes back, takes the mark.
Couple of experienced heads there, Michael Ferrito and Scotty Thompson. Crucially, Scotty Thompson won the contest. Ferrito read it really well. Experienced down back.
Gibson from Bastonak. And a terrific mark by Waite, as he can do. So he's going to go. Little short one. And Higgins, so the two guys, they recruited. The two mature age guys, one from the Bulldogs here and the other from Carlton.
Blood rule.
So Nahas with the blood rule. That was the hit with Heppel earlier in this last quarter. I reckon that's been there for a bit. And Higgins, who's missed a couple of set shots tonight. Well, this gives you a lot of credit points with a new club if you can bang one of these home.
It does.
This is big stuff.
Well, they got those two players to the club for this exact reason. I mean, their experience.
6-11 from set shots. Will it come back to bite them? Or does Higgins put it all to rest here?
Thank you, Sean.
The deal's not closed if he kicks it, but it's getting that way.
You're right on it, matey, okay? Yeah, sweet.
Biggest kick of the night. Deliberate slow build-up. Struck it beautifully. Gets it home. Oh. He's a kangaroo now.
Well, he's a wonderfully skilled player. And, well, technique, everything. Got the head right, had the technique right. And as you said, Bruce, it split the middle.
That kick was so pure. Now the ruckman touched the ball. Holstein spills across to Gibson. Big second half. Zeeble, punishing kick long. How will it bounce? It runs on, almost on the line. It's gone across, and there's the ball game.
Jack Zeeble has been huge tonight for the Kangaroos. That one from inside the centre square. Got a nice bounce. Nice bit of help on the line from Ryan Bastonak. 25 kicks, just the 3 handballs, 28 disposals. What a game. 2 goals, 2 for Jack Zeeble.
He's been fantastic, hasn't he? Dempsey soccers it out of the air. Bagley hooking back. Petrie. It's been a good move putting him back, hasn't it?
He's been important. 3 marks down there. Just a smart move, just to take the wind out of the sails of the Bombers a little bit. He stands strong, then he just drifts down with the play as well. Joins in if the ball's moving slowly.
So Wright's kick.
Kangaroos! Kangaroos! Goldstein!
Hasn't dominated tonight, the big guy, but he's played pretty well. He's having a huge year, Goldstein. Deliberate kick, very wide. Harvey traps it, can't keep it in, boundary throw in. So North will go into the 8 tonight with a win here. Before tonight, Essendon been beaten by 3 teams that are currently in the top 4. A 26th kick for Zeeble tonight.
Floats inside the forward 50. Wonderful courage from Fletcher. Eyes only for the footy. Dempsey gets the crumb. Short to midfield. Gleeson wants to go. Runners alongside. One of them, Goddard, kicks down towards the 50. Ambrose missed it. Runs behind. Clever by Watson. Jackson Merritt into an open goal. Gets it. 2 minutes remaining.
Well, they couldn't, could they, Duck? So clever by Joe Watson, straight out of the centre bounce. Funnier things have happened.
Well, the great Lee Matthews says if you've got more goals in minutes, so there's 2 minutes, 2 goals they need, they can do it.
So, massive centre clearance coming up. Gibson had it stripped. Howlett got the centre clearance to centre half forward. Right, Goddard, Merritt, Watson. Still Watson, oh, brilliantly done, Watson. Sidesteps and delivers. Well done at the back, though. It was Thompson. Out wide, Dempsey and Swallow. Dempsey's quick, Swallow. Ball eludes both of them. Not quite out. Now out, Atley, those fresher legs. Jacobs off a step. Kicks it out. And is it deliberate?
Full.
It is.
Out on the full.
How good was Watson a moment ago?
Short one comes to Howlett. No time to waste. High ball inside the forward 50. Big pack at the drop. And Petrie. Oh, what a mark. What a pack mark that was. He lifted that tired body off the ground and is marked in defence about 20 metres out from goal.
He's had a big last quarter, Drew. It's been huge since he's gone back there.
And moments ago, Tarrant was wonderful as well. Ball comes out towards Ashby. He takes the mark close to the boundary. Wants to go. Centering ball. Gleeson inside the last minute. They need a goal and they need it now. Then there'd be time. Down towards full forward. Big pack pushed out of it. Petrie.
Push in the back. Petrie. Petrie.
Oh, wow.
Push in the back.
Petrie, make sure you get it back to him on the full.
I think it was. He made a meal of it, Big Drew. Dangerous thing to do, but he got the free, and it was there. And now right.
It's actually a great mark by Danaher, but there were hands in that back. So Petrie's influence of the last quarter has been monumental. It's been a terrific game of footy. Had a huge build-up. All the things with Essendon, with Mawada appeal and Brad Scott's situation. The rivalry of these two clubs, Dennis Pagan and Kevin Sheedy, the laser tonight. Heppel goes forward, but the game has really lived up to the hype. Jacobs, Petrie, what a last quarter, banging the ball away. And North Melbourne, for the first time this year, get in front of the ledger. They go to 4 and 3, and they're in the 8 in round 7. It's the Kangaroos over the arch enemy now. Just 11 points. A terrific game on a Friday night.
So join in the chorus and sing it one and all. Join in the chorus, North Melbourne's on the ball. Good old North Melbourne, they're champions, you'll agree. North Melbourne is the team that plays to win for you and me. Sing it one and all. Join in the chorus. North Melbourne's on the ball. Good old North Melbourne, they're champions, you'll agree. North Melbourne is the team that plays to win for you and me.
They'll play again on a Friday night later in the year, these two teams. I think they're the only Friday nights Essendon have got for the year. Tim makes his way out there. Just a really good game of footy with a lot to talk about and think about. Down to you, Tim.
Well, Drew, it's always a tough battle against Essendon, isn't it?
Yeah, it always is, no matter where either side is on the ladder or
what the form's been like the weeks and month prior. It's always a tight game. There's always a lot of spirit, which you saw tonight.
So did you send yourself back there in the last quarter, or is that part of the plan?
It was part of the plan. Sean Higgins told me that I reckoned I should go back, and I said I don't know, and then the message came out from the coach, so he was right. So I dropped behind the footy. First time I've done it this year, and I was lucky to hold a few.
4-3, now you're off to a good start, back into the 8.
Yeah, it's good. We've got Fremantle next week, so the games don't get any easier, and it's nice to get ahead of the ledger this time of the year.
I might let you go under the blood rule. You're going to have to get off the ground now.
All right, set me off.
It's only a small nick.
All right, great team, thanks.
Oh, what a game he played. What a last quarter he played. 7 marks in the last quarter. 4 of those intercept marks. Such an important role, and just the fact that he and Sean Higgins were talking about it, the message comes out, and then they executed it perfectly. Really well done. Back down to you, Tim.
Well, Lingy, I'm with Lockie Hansen now. Well done, Lockie, tonight. A great performance, particularly in that first half. You were marking everything down there.
Yeah, no, it was good. Good to come back in second game back, so to go for my marks, and the boys are protecting me pretty well tonight, so good that I can contribute to the team.
And you came off at one stage there. It looked like they were manipulating your groin or your hip. Which was it?
Yeah, no, it was my groin. I just landed like on my knees like that and split my groin, but just a couple of minutes I was pretty sore, but then I could get back out there.
And the defence held up really well tonight.
Yeah, we did, and then Drew coming back in the last 5 minutes there, clunking everything, so great win for all the boys, and yeah, that was good stuff.
Joe Danaher flew a couple of times. Were you fearful of what he might be able to do on your shoulders tonight?
Got a good one in the back of my head, and then luckily he missed the goal though, so no, it was just a good win today.
Well done and good luck for the rest of the season.
Yeah, thanks, mate.
So 14 marks for Hansen tonight.
Oh, he was great. Actually, both defenders, Hurley was great at one end and Hansen was great at the other end. They were both terrific, but just so good at those intercept marks, like Petrie in that last quarter.
It really was an important game for North Melbourne to win tonight. I know that's stating the obvious, but their next 4 games are against the current top 4. So they had to lock in that win tonight against the Bombers when they were the more fancied team. It was a great game of footy, and they stood up strong when they needed to, particularly Drew Petrie down back, but right across the board, the skipper, Jack Siebel, all of them had quality games.
I'm not sure how close Dal Sando is to coming back. Still a few weeks, I guess, is he?
I'd say still a few off.
Yep. Yeah. So they've still got a couple to come back.
But Daniel Wells eventually.
Wells is again a bit of a mystery, isn't he? I mean, if you drop those 2 in, working towards September. I think we all feel they're a top 8 team for sure, aren't they?
I think so. Well, definitely a top 8 team. I think they played a little bit of a different brand tonight. It wasn't that fast-paced footy that we're used to seeing them play, that breakneck speed footy. I mean, they were a little bit more composed when they had it, which is different to what we've seen over the last couple of years, really.
Yep. It shows that they've perhaps got a plan A, they've got a plan B, and both are working okay at the moment. You need to be able to go to that in games if your number 1 plan isn't working exactly as you'd like it to.
And we talk a lot about their leadership, and they showed it tonight, didn't they? I mean, Petrie showed it in the last quarter by going back. Higgins showed it when he kicked the goal.
We spoke a lot about Jack Siebel during the game. I mean, he's shown, and Lingy and I both think that he should be going to that next level now. He did tonight.
Yeah, no, I think we all agree he's at the right age. He's played enough footy. He's had a couple of terrible injuries, one in particular, but you feel like he can go into the elite level, perhaps be all-Australian.
Yep. A couple of blokes at the front there, Swallow and Cunnington, they play footy the right way too. They get the job done in the contest. So important to this North Melbourne outfit.
And speaking of injuries too, Ben Brown seems to be moving okay. There he is. Went out to meet his teammates, taking part in the celebrations there.
A lot of firepower, Dennis, haven't they? They've got a lot of goal kickers in this team. It's a big win. They started the season terribly in Adelaide. They were hammered by the Crows, and they've had to play catch-up footy for the rest of the season so far, but they've been able to get themselves with consecutive wins for the first time, into the 8 for the first time. They'll enjoy this against the arch-enemy. couple of the heroes there, Petrie's last quarter, Zeeble, particularly after quarter time. So on a night where I think we've been witness to a lot of bravery both on and off the field here tonight, Hamish, there's a lot to talk about.
There is, Macca. The Bombers brave and the Kangaroos the victors. We'll hear again from Neil Danner, who Macca is alluding to. We'll hear from both coaches, the winners and the losers. We'll award the Tissot Man of the Moment. The Kangaroos too good on a Friday night at Etihad. Dan Langy and Duck and myself in the post-match show on the other side.
Sunday at 10. Game day is the Players Show.
With Brent Harvey, Lee Montagna, Jeremy Cameron, Dustin Fletcher and Lee Matthews. In the VFL, the Tigers and Pies meet in an old-fashioned warm-up for Sunday's big game. Then it's all eyes on the MCG when Richmond meet Collingwood in a Sunday Arvo blockbuster. For the West Aussies, the Dockers have a date with the Dogs. And in Queensland and SA, the Lions host the Power.